and the sheriff's office says there is no public access inside the evacuation zone. Meanwhile, Kern County firefighters say you should stay prepared all year in case of wildfires, and they published a list of things to do before a situation like this one develops, and that includes getting alerts from Ready Kern to know what to do, making a plan to protect your people, packing a go bag with things that you'll need, and building a stay box for when you can't leave. They also say be prepared to help friends and neighbors get ready. A shooting in South Bakersfield over the weekend. One person is dead and their name has not yet been released. 3 other people were sent to the hospital. Bakersfield PD says that happened 10:30 Saturday night on East Pacheco Road near Garber Way. They have not yet said exactly how that went down. The average price for gas in California now $6.06, says Gas Buddy, $5.21 at a station on Chester Avenue. It's the least expensive that you will find it in this area. The national average gas is now $4.43, says Gas Buddy. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
To the rest of a month from now, this Hollywood Big Shot's gonna give you what you want.
Too late. They start shooting in a week.
I'm gonna make him an offer again.
The Ralph Bailey Show. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hi, everybody. And a very pleasant good afternoon to you, wherever you may be, however you may be listening, or however you may be viewing. For those subscribing on YouTube, it's the Ralph Bailey Show on a Monday. The very first Monday in May. God, can you imagine? The summer is almost here. Meteorologists are already talking about triple-digit temperatures.
Oh, yeah.
Where does the time go? We got a busy Monday broadcast coming up at the bottom of the hour. Thank you, sir. Dr. Jeet Singh, finest cardiologist in the land, joins us as per usual. And, of course, if it's a Monday, Kathy Abernathy will be here at 4 o'clock. And coming up in the 5, you'll like this, Mr. Burdick. It's Cinco de Mayo mañana.
It is.
So Cassie Biddle's going to stop by and tell you what kind of specials she has. And she's bringing tacos and perhaps margaritas.
Fantastic. Love that.
Yeah.
It is today or tomorrow?
It's tomorrow. Today's the 4th.
Okay.
Yeah, today's the 4th. Es todo es 4. Hasta mañana es 5.
Sí. That's why I needed some clarification there.
Okay. Háblame, mi amigo.
How do I say this in Spanish?
Háblame en español solamente. El todo programa de Rafael en español hoy. Lo siento mucho. Yo no en español. Lo siento mucho. I'm kidding.
For me. Is today Cassie's birthday?
Oh, Lord, please say it's not.
The only reason I ask is because JR had asked me and I had no idea. So I figured asking you would have an answer.
Okay, here's what we'll do.
Are we about to just do a group call?
No. We'll just bust in the happy birthday at 5:05. And if it's not a birthday, we'll just be like, joke's on you. And if it is a birthday, we're really good. We're a good sponsor.
There you go.
Because I have no idea. Wouldn't it be on? Wouldn't it show up on the Facebook?
It would, and that is why JR asked me, because I believe he said that he saw that it was her birthday today.
Well, please stand by. We'll stop the broadcast for a sponsor. Are you kidding me? People will just have to wait to be entertained. This is about a long-time sponsor. Let's look under birthdays. Your memories with Jerome Davis. There was a new contact from Jeff. Where is the happy birthday thing? They normally put that out.
It's been weird on Facebook for me lately.
All right, let's just go to her Facebook. How's that? Let's just go to Cassie Biddle And she was born. Oh, why am I even looking this up? I knew this. Her birthday's 5 days after mine. I knew this because as a birthday present, I would always let her fill in for me when I'm on vacation. Listening to Flores.
Right, I forgot about that.
You got me listening to Flores. What's the matter with you? Although there may be reason to listen to Mr. Flores before I get into the regular portion of the broadcast. You guys remember when I came in and I said something very controversial last week that forced Mr. Flores to come running in here questioning my sanity? Well, there may have been good reason for that.
Uh-oh.
I had put out the word that I thought, based on just watching him at 41, that LeBron was the greatest ever.
Yeah.
And I admitted, though, that I was more leaning towards my original thesis, which is he's had the greatest career, because I don't care what you say. I saw Michael Jordan. I saw Kareem at the end of their careers. They weren't this good. He looked unbelievable in closing out Houston. I think he had 28 points at 41. But when you look at all, I ran into this weekend and I thought about my statement, and JR running in here looking at me like, are you all right? And this kind of swayed my opinion. This is LeBron versus Michael Jordan all-time rankings.
Okay.
Total points.
Mm-hmm.
Well, LeBron's number one.
Mm-hmm.
Michael's fifth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Michael's fifth.
Yeah.
LeBron's number one.
Yeah.
Points per game, Jordan's number one. Playoff per game, Jordan's number one. Scoring titles, Jordan's number one. Final MVP awards, Jordan's number one. All defensive first teams, Jordan's number one. Player efficiency rating, Jordan's number one. Playoff per, Jordan's number one. Win shares, 48 minutes, Jordan's number one. Playoff wins, 48 minutes, Jordan's number one. Playoff per minutes, I don't even know what that means, he's number one. Offensive per minutes, he's number one. Playoff offensive per minute, he's number one. Game score, he's number one. LeBron is fifth, sixth, second, fifth, third, eighth, third, second, 14th. Michael Jordan is the greatest basketball player who ever lived. Just ignore everything that I said on Friday. Just absolutely ignore it.
Basketball Jesus.
It's still back to LeBron and Kareem. Michael and Kareem. It's right there. Meantime, we had an historic Kentucky Derby. We'll get into that. And you know what? I lost a ton of money. God, I spent so much money Saturday because I went out to dinner Saturday night. God. But people that don't gamble just don't get it. They really, really don't. Because the person I went to dinner with was just like, how could you possibly say that was fun? Because they went with me to fire hydrant. And I said, because you don't understand. Degenerate gamblers love the juice.
Yeah.
I loved waking up Saturday morning and having to call 3 liquor stores to find the racing form. And then come to find out it's right down the street from me, right down there by the Guild House. So I got up early Saturday morning. I walked down to the liquor store. I got my racing form. I sat there and I studied. And I'm telling you, I know you don't believe this. But I had, what was Golden Tempo?
Yeah.
I had him circled because one of the things about the only reason really I read the racing form is because what the racing form does that no other program does, they have a monopoly on, is they will give you not only a history of the horse's races, but they will give you a history of the horse's progress in certain races. Do you understand what I'm saying? In other words, okay, let's say you're looking up the horse Ralph Bailey, and you want to see what kind of history horse Ralph Bailey has. And in the racing form, it'll say Ralph Bailey ran at Santa Anita on May 25th. He ran at Florida Downs on June 22nd. And then it'll give you a breakdown of the race where it'll say on May 25th, 2025, the horse Ralph Bailey ran at Santa Anita. He started 7th, then he was 6th, then he was 7th, then he was 4th, and he finished 2nd. You see what I'm getting at? And I looked at Golden Tempo, and he has a history of closing. But he was 23-1. And I had already bet on a 21-1 horse, which got scratched at the gate. So I feel like I got robbed. Great White would have won that race if he hadn't freaked out. Because remember, these horses have never and will never. Well, that's not true. As a 4-year-old, you can run the Kentucky Oaks next year. But these horses will never run. Most of these horses never run before 100,000 people for. It's not only just that there are 21, 22 horses in the race that they've never dealt with before and never will again, but it's the fact that there are around 100,000 people screaming drunks, yelling at them. And these horses get a little skittish. And the great white, the grown, I would say, always bet on a great horse, freaked out and flipped, and they scratched him right. I had $5 on him at 21 to 1, at 25 to 1. But I just loved it. I just enjoyed going to fire hydrant and trying to figure it out and losing my ass. But it was a fun race. And later in the broadcast, you're going to hear from Sherry DeVoe. She made history, becoming the first female to win at the Kentucky Derby, only the second female to win a Triple Crown race. A woman a couple of years ago won the Belmont. But and now it just sucks because they're not going to Pimlico. I mean, to Pimlico, to the Preakness. They're not going because it's like in 2 weeks, and it's not their kind of race. Their horse is kind of a comeback horse. This is a much shorter track in Pimlico. I've told you guys I've been there. I went to the Preakness with Larry Fields, Lois Henry's husband, ex-husband, and Rob Walters and a bunch of guys 100 years ago. And they're going to wait for the Belmont, which just sucks. It's the 21st century. You know what I'm saying? It's the 21st century. It's the era of load management in sports where guys don't want to play 82 games the way Michael and Magic and Larry wanted to. And now horse owners don't even want to win the Triple Crown. They're like, no, let's rest our horse and let's just make more money. And it's just the attitude of the 21st century. How can you not want to try to vie? You have one of the rare opportunities in sports to do something that it's horse racing. It's been going on since the 19th century. So only like 120 something horses have had the opportunity to do. And you're just going to be, not that big a deal. I'll end with this as we go to break. The best video, and this is why I watch reels. I love reels. I'm addicted. I'm not going to lie. Sherry DeVoe, you've seen the video, I'm sure. The front shot of her just going absolutely berserk as her horse comes down the what do you call it? The damn
Final leg?
No, what is it called? The last part of the race. God, my brain is just it's horrible. And she's going nuts, obviously. But there is a back shot that I think was taken by somebody's phone where she's basically standing on like a bar. Home stretch, thank you. She's basically standing on like a bar setting where it's got like a tabletop, and she's kind of short, and she's literally up in the air. It's being shot from behind, and she's literally up in the air holding herself up on the thing, and her legs, she's wearing tennis shoes, and she's kicking the wall furiously as her horse is coming down the stretch. And she's in midair, just kicking this wall, like, come on, come on, come on. And then you see her just hit the ground and go nuts. It is a great shot. It really is. And it is, I was just real, you know me, the crybaby. I was like, cry First Lady. Thank you. Quick time out. We're just getting started on a busy Monday broadcast on the Ralph Bailey Show, right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, where we're streaming live at kernradio.com.
Kern Radio.
Casey is first.
KERN.
Coming up on the Tuesday edition of the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, the aftermath of Spirit Airlines going down and the Democrats getting a lot of heat for it. Elizabeth Warren protecting consumers by making prices go up for them. We'll also talk about the latest with Cuba, an island that is in almost literal darkness these days. What's going on over there? We'll talk to somebody down here in South Florida who knows what's up on Clay and Buck.
Live at 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
Mañana es 5 de Mayo, la comida at la Casa Steakhouse. I'm sorry, I forgot. The food at Casey's Steakhouse tomorrow is going to be outstanding. In fact, as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Cassie Biddle, our operator, will be joining us in the 5. Give us an example of what they're going on tomorrow at Casey's Steakhouse on F Street to celebrate this great tradition on the 5th of May. So if you've got nothing else to do and trying to figure out what you're going to do on Cinco de Mayo, why don't you head down to F Street and celebrate with the ladies and the staff at Casey's Steakhouse. And later in the week, don't forget about the Stockyard opening on Thursday, Fridays, and Saturday nights. They've got live music on Saturday And Jimmy and Bobby are providing live music Tuesday through Saturday in the main restaurant. Where would you rather be? Enjoying one of the best steaks you'll ever have at Casey's Steakhouse on F Street in the capable hands of Cassie Biddle's incredible staff at Casey's Steakhouse, longtime sponsors of The Ralph Bailey Show.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit Tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
When there are supply constraints on commodities, prices surge. You saw it with fuel prices, with the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. And you know what else is a limited commodity? Gold. They mine it out of the ground, and when it's gone, it's gone. Governments can't just print more of it. That's why everyone from central banks to savvy savers are diversified with gold. If you've been thinking about it for years, but have still never moved some of your savings into physical gold, Birch Gold Group is who I trust to help you. Stan Bongino, and now through May 29th, Birch Gold is giving first-time gold buyers a rebate of up to $10,000 on qualifying purchases. For details and a free information kit on diversifying into gold, text Dan to the number 989898. Birch Gold can help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into a tax-sheltered IRA in physical gold. Text Dan to the number 989898 to see if you qualify for a first-time gold buyer rebate of up to $10,000. Again, text Dan to 989898 today. Message and data rates apply.
Hey, folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to The Ralph Bailey Show right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
I did not see Michael, but now yet I've been turned on to yet another 21st Century series.
Oh?
I'm now watching Euphoria.
Oh. Let me guess. Sydney Sweeney?
I'm not a Sydney Sweeney. You have no idea why I'm watching Euphoria?
I'm just joking with you. I'm assuming
you think I just said, okay, I'm going to start watching this?
No, I'm just saying that.
You know why I'm watching Euphoria. Sure, I'd love to. Turn it on. I'm excited. Let's.
I don't know if you're going to be into this one. You might be, because it is riddled with drama, but it's like high school drama.
The 2 episodes, well, the first episode, it's...
Actually, no, it's not even high school drama. What am I talking about? This is
Have
crazy.
you watched the most recent ones?
Most recent? No.
Somebody may be listening. No, I don't think she's listening. Well, first of all, I'm not a big Sydney Sweeney fan. I didn't know she was in it. I didn't know Kareem Hardison is in it from different world. Zendaya,
yeah.
Whatever. I didn't even know who this woman was until Saturday. Have you seen the wedding?
Oh, I haven't seen any of this season. Well, actually, no, I shouldn't say that. I've seen clips, but I've not seen like the whole episode.
The wedding is
wild,
and it's and so I went home and I studied it.
Yeah,
and it's directed by Sam Levinson.
Yeah,
who is the son of Barry Levinson.
Yeah.
Now Sam Levinson is of your generation. Barry Levinson is of my generation. Barry Levinson did a trio of films about Baltimore, which are some of the best films that I saw in my youth. Tin Man, Avalon, and the best one that I'm blacking out. Oh, and Diner. They're all set in Baltimore. He grew up in Baltimore, and he did all 3 of those movies. And Diners are great with Mickey Rourke and Paul Reiser and Daniel Stern, and just a great ensemble cast. A young Kevin Spacey, Kevin Pollak, Kevin
Klein.
I'm not even playing the game. I'm trying to figure out his name. Kevin
Bacon.
A young Kevin Bacon is in it. It's a really good film. So you would think that, but this Levinson kid who had problems with drugs and alcohol apparently in his youth is of your generation. So this thing is of your generation, and I think your generation are a bunch of silly kids. So this thing,
That's what I'm saying. I don't think you're going to be in this.
No, the wedding is ridiculous, dude. Can I spoil it for everybody? Okay, so the wedding. Okay, so she marries the Nate, who's like the athlete and
PLS,
yeah, and he owes a ton of money to a gangster who's in jail. Well, the gangster breaks out of jail, comes to the wedding, ruins the wedding. They get by that. He takes Sydney Sweeney home, whatever her name is, and the guy's waiting for him, beats the crap out of him in front of her, which is the funniest part of the whole thing because she gets hit in the nose. Her husband's getting the crap beat out of her, and she's like, "I'm bleeding!" And he's in the background getting the crap beat out of her. I did laugh out loud at that. Now, that was funny. That's the only smile he got out of me. But literally in the background, he's just getting the crap beat out of him, and she notices her nose is bleeding. She's like, "I'm bleeding!" Okay. So, and then at the end, he takes a nail clipper and clips off his pinky toe and leaves him there bleeding. And that's
pinky finger.
Pinky toe.
Oh.
Pinky toe. He's Deion Sanders. He ain't got no pinky toe. And that was the wedding scene. And I mean, it was drama, and it was So now in the new episode that just came out last night that I did watch on my own accord, Zendaya gets arrested. She's a drug trafficker and she gets arrested. And that's where I left it. And I went back and started watching the Dodger game or whatever the hell I was watching. I don't even know why I shared that. I apologize. I just took 4 minutes out of your life that you'll never get back. I apologize. I don't know what even brought that up. I don't even.
Yeah, just that you were getting caught up in the new. Oh, that you didn't see Michael yet. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's what I meant to see Michael. Everybody that it's. I know. Everything about me is about race. I'm just telling you facts. I'm reporting what is happening in my life. All the white people that have seen it hated it, and all the black people that I've talked to that seen it loved it. I am making no comment about that. I am making no observation about that. I'm simply telling you, I talked to 3 white people and they were like, "Hey, that was the best comment." And 4 black people, I talked to Chet this morning, who were like, "Dude, you got to go see this. It ain't accurate." See, black folks, at least we're honest. They're like, "It ain't accurate." Chet told me, "Hell, his woman ain't even in the picture." And I'm like, "Who, the white girl that he had the baby with?" "No, Miss Ross." I'm like, "Get out of here. You can't do a Michael Jackson bio without Diana Ross." He's like, "Well, they did." So it's not even remotely accurate. I guess that's what Mr. Bentley was having such a hard time with. But anyway, I apologize. I should be talking about much more serious things because it is a serious time in the world. Because now, I don't know, every headline that I saw on every news story that I saw this morning was ceasefire is at risk or tensions mount in the ceasefire. There's no ceasefire. What are you talking about, ceasefire? The Iranians fired 4 missiles at the UAE, and we've shot down 7 of their boats. There's little speedboats that could cause all kind of damage because we've got boots on the ground. I'm tired of this nonsense about we're never going to put boots on the ground. We've got 2 ships inside the Strait of Hormuz, inside the Persian Gulf. And if one little drone hits one of those ships, men are going to die. So don't tell me we don't have boots on the ground. Don't tell me we don't have men and women in harm's way right this second. And now this thing is escalated, I think, beyond the point that most of us are realizing. And I think that the president has made a brilliant move. I think it's an impromptu move, which has been my problem with this thing, Epifury, altogether. But this Project Freedom, where we're going to gun down every boat that comes out of there, and then we're going to keep the strait closed, I think is a brilliant move because now it is on the Iranians. It is now on them. The question is now, which really has always been, is there a military way out of this thing? How do we walk away? Because now victory has been defined. If we don't walk away with their uranium, the Democrats are going to say that this was an abject failure. And we cannot bomb them into submission to hand over the uranium. Things are tight. Later in the broadcast, you will hear from Admiral Brad Cooper from CENTCOM. This is a very tenuous time in this war. Meantime, the War Powers Act apparently has gone out the window because the 60-day period has absolutely expired. But the Defense Department's response has been, there's a ceasefire, so the clock stops. Quick timeout. Dr. Jeet Singh joins us next.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
With us on news, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. The Supreme Court has restored broad access to the abortion pill mifepristone, blocking a ruling that had threatened to upend one of the main ways abortion is provided across the nation. The order issued Monday allows women seeking abortions to obtain the pill at pharmacies or through the mail without an in-person visit to a doctor. Lawmakers in several southern states are meeting this week to consider redistricting plans in response to a U.S. Supreme Court ruling that weakened the Voting Rights Act. Republican Alabama Governor Kay Ivey called legislators into a special session on Monday, which could enable a new date for congressional primaries. Tennessee Republican Governor Bill Lee has announced a special session starting Tuesday to redraw that state's U.S. House district. More details available at srnnews.com.
Well, I had
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. Headlines from the KERN newsroom.
If you are near the evacuation zone where the tower fire is burning, you can expect lower visibility because of the smoke. And the Kern County Sheriff's Office is enforcing the evacuation warning north of Edison Highway, south of Pioneer Drive, east of Comanche Drive, and west of Benna Ranch Road. The fire is being fueled by dry vegetation and high winds and is moving to the north and east. 4 people were hurt in a shooting that happened Saturday night on East Pacheco Road near Garber Way, says Bakersfield PD. One of those people died and the other 3 are in the hospital. No arrests have been announced. The average price for a gallon of regular is now $6.06 in California, says Gas Buddy. The national average is $4.43. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
Gas costs more. Groceries cost more. And Sacramento keeps making decisions like Kern County doesn't exist. Andre Gonzalez isn't waiting around for someone else to fix it. Born and raised right here in Bakersfield, Andre Gonzalez has spent his career delivering for this community. He created a community land trust so working families can actually afford to own a home. He's fought to make sure Kern County gets its fair share from Sacramento to fix roads and build water infrastructure, not just the scraps LA and the Bay Area leave behind. Andre Gonzalez is backed by California's firefighters, classroom teachers, and he is the only candidate endorsed by the California Democratic Party. Join them. Vote for Andre Gonzalez for State Assembly on or before June 2nd. Ad paid for by California Credit Union League Political Action Committee, not authorized by a candidate or a committee controlled by a candidate.
We've all been there, sleepless nights, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy knowing we're here for you. BayAlarm.com.
First Look with Scott Cox, morning 6 to 9 a.m.
on the Tuesday edition of the First Look program. Sadly, we will be without the services of Lois Henry, but if you check out this article in USA Today, they are copying and pasting her work about golden mussels right here in Bakersfield, plus news and traffic and weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
It's a Monday, so we're off to Centric Health to talk with the finest cardiologist in the land, Dr. Jeet Singh. How are you, Dr. J?
I'm good. How are you, guys?
Outstanding, sir. Thank you. Finally getting this bump off my head removed on the 14th. I'm excited about this.
Oh, what happened?
You haven't noticed? Bump on the right side of my forehead?
Yeah.
Yeah, you haven't seen me in a while, but yeah, over the last some of my pictures. I bet you could go through your Rolodex and find some pictures, find my little bump. But I'm excited about that.
Glad.
Let's talk about diabetes today. We often have, and I'm going to ask you questions, obviously, that we've talked about before, questions I have answers to, but we have to ask, nevertheless, for our audience. And what turned me into this is because uncharacteristically, I had McDonald's yesterday out of nowhere. I was just being lazy and just didn't feel like going anywhere. And I went to McDonald's, and I could not believe how much salt was on those French fries. Now, obviously, I'm more sensitive because I've completely tried to cut salt out of my diet. But my first question is, why, if we know that salt is so bad for us, why do we? I see people in restaurants put salt on their food before they taste it. Why are we so enamored with salt?
You know, it's the flavor, and it's very addictive. There is always people have a lot of carving for carbs or salt. It's the taste of the tongue.
It's crazy how much. I mean, but if we know, how do we don't even give like an option? You know, if we know that it's so bad. Like, have you ever seen one of the fry guys at a fast food restaurant put salt on French fries? It is frightening. It's as if, you know,
of course.
I just, if we know it's so bad, one would think that we would be more responsible. That's all I'm saying. I know that's a stupid thing to say, but let's move on. Is type 2 diabetes reversible?
It is.
How so?
So these days, there are so many patients who come with uncontrolled type 2 diabetes. And if you look at these new medications that we have, GLP-1 agonists, what they help is type 2 diabetes, if you understand, it's driven by insulin resistance and excess fat around your liver and your pancreas. So if you can normalize your blood sugar levels by either weight loss, your dietary approach like ketogenic or low carb diet, or you do calorie restriction, some people do Mediterranean diet for it, you exercise, you lower your glucose levels post meal, that is one of the good things, then your insulin sensitivity improves. And there are a lot of studies which have demonstrated that if you exercise, your insulin sensitivity improves. And if on the top of it, you can take medications like metformin, which is given for type 2 diabetes, or you take what we famously known as Ozempic or Mounjaro, they all help to effectively lose weight, improve your insulin resistance, and actually normalize your A1C. So to be using the right words, you can send type 2 diabetes in remission, but it can come back, but it can go in remission if you stick to these guidelines.
You can live with diabetes your entire life, correct?
Yes, of course.
I mean, and live a healthy life,
Live a healthy life.
relatively
The
speaking.
sooner you diagnose
and you act on by the three: diet, exercise, and taking your medication, you can see definitely significant improvement.
Is it strictly based on your A1C?
Yes.
And what number defines diabetes?
Usually, most of the labs 6.4, 6.5 and above, you are type 2 diabetic.
Yeah, see, that's what I was worried about. My last blood test, I went from a 5.8 to a 6.2, and that's unacceptable.
But the interesting part, what you have to remember, we always go by A1C, but that's for most of the cases.
Yeah.
But let's say you have a patient has anemia, okay, or any other hemoglobin disorder, or they have a chronic kidney disease, liver disease, or recent transfusion. You may actually get underestimation of A1C. You can get an error. So because the A1C, the HbA1C is measured with the glucose stacked to the blood cell. But if you are anemic, you have low blood count.
Right.
If you had a blood transfusion, then the lifespan of the longer living blood cells have been replaced by the new fresh blood cells which your bone marrow produces.
Right.
So you get a false reading in those cases. So in some cases, we target not A1C, but fructose level. That's a different kind of a sugar.
Wow, that's interesting. That is very, very interesting. Talking with Dr. Jeet Singh, as we do each and every other Monday. What are the first symptoms, or not symptoms, or ramifications of diabetes going badly?
Well, you will start seeing insulin resistance like symptoms. You will see kidney failure and organ damages. For example, person's peripheral neuropathy will get worse. They can develop cataract. Their kidney functions can progressively decrease. They can get heart attacks. They can go to the hospital with ketoacidosis. Their blood sugars are in 500. Some people get heart attacks because of that. So it can cause various presentations, but high diabetes can worsen all the above.
Yeah. I had a member of my family lose his foot to diabetes. What's that about?
It's peripheral vascular disease. So what we call as PAD. And as said, it hits your circulatory system. So it can cause stroke, it can cause heart attacks, it can cause limb ischemia. Your blood vessels which supply the blood and oxygen to your lower extremities, they get compromised.
Yeah.
And they cause unfortunately gangrene or amputation of the foot. So these are life-threatening problems.
Yeah, yeah. I once heard my father explaining why my grandmother's A1C and was one of the few members of our family who did not have type 2 diabetes. And my father said my grandmother always drank her tea with 2 sticks of cinnamon. And he said that cinnamon was very good for diabetes and your A1C. Was he joking? Is that accurate? Or is that an old wives' tale?
I think it's a tale because it can help you a little bit, but it's not the treatment. But one thing is sure, it's believed. There is not a lot of data to that, but it's believed that it improves the insulin sensitivity and it slightly lowers fasting glucose. So let's say you are borderline pre-diabetic, it may have some effect in it, but nothing significant. If you're type 2 diabetic, it cannot reverse that.
Yeah. I don't think he was saying it reverses it. I think he just said she's been doing cinnamon her whole life, and that kind of helped her. I don't know.
Like some people will take like a teaspoon, and they have improved their blood sugars. They come to me to see. So every human being is different, but you can try that.
Yeah. It's sad to see people, because most of the type 2 diabetes goes wrong. It's just neglect. Is that right?
Yeah. It's a lot of denial in the initial stage. People attempt, which is good, for A1C reduction with lifestyle. But it's a very tough situation because what you have been eating for decades, it's very difficult to give it up.
Yeah, that was my problem. I thought it was just a sugar issue, and I got past that. I got past the donuts and the candy and the milkshakes and the sodas, but it was the carbs that I had a hard time with. And once I identified that, I lost weight without even trying. Because I was eating,
I remember that.
Yeah, I was eating deli sandwiches like 3 or 4 times a day. I was eating pasta 2 or 3 times a day. I was eating a ton of rice a lot. And when I cut all that stuff out, I just naturally lost weight and my A1C just naturally came down. I never realized how much carbohydrates play a role in your A1C.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, lifestyle, diet, I always emphasize those are the key factors.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Always great to talk to you, sir. I appreciate you taking the time. Anything you want to leave us with?
No, I mean, I think those were good questions. And
Thank you.
hope that everybody benefits from the medicine you practice. I mean, you do wonderful, Ralph.
Well, it's such a common disease, and it's another disease where we could stave off just based on our own behavior.
Of course, I think the diabetic population is on the rise in the nation, so it's good to talk about it,
Yeah.
re-emphasize.
Yeah. Oh, and in the last 20 years, it's like doubled. Now I can let you go, Dr. J. My producer has returned.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you taking the time. We'll talk to you in a couple of weeks.
Take care.
You too, sir. Dr. Jeet Singh. Quick time out. Coming right back. Kathy Abernathy joins us at the top of the hour. 17,000 people woke up this morning without health insurance. They all work for the big yellow bird in the sky. As most of you have heard by now, Spirit Airlines has absolutely shut down, putting those 17,000 employees out of work, leaving some close to 1 million passengers stranded. I'll tell you what some of the other airlines are doing now in your favor. But what they'll be doing in about a month or two is a whole other ballgame. We'll tell you the story of Sherry DeVoe. She is the history-making horse trainer that won the Kentucky Derby on Saturday. Cassie Biddle will join us in the 5, tell us what she's got going on Cinco de Mayo mañana. And we're down to 8 in the NBA. Did I not tell you? Pistons in 8. Or 7. Or Lakers in 5. I don't know what I'm talking about. But they made the most dramatic comeback in NBA history and then blew Orlando off the court. And I did it again. I did it again.
You didn't do what I think you did you?
Yeah, I did.
Why did
Well, because I actually won some money Saturday gambling as well on something totally unrelated to horses. So I took some of that money and I put it in there. And if it hadn't been, what's the kid for Orlando? Bain?
Yeah, Desmond.
I hate him.
I know.
I hate him.
I don't blame you.
He ruined my Sunday. 20 to win, 130.
So you're the one we can blame for them. Wow. Okay, that
What?
makes sense.
What are you talking about?
You mushed their shooting. You bet on Bain, didn't you?
No, I needed him to be less.
Oh, never mind.
No, he overperformed for me.
Okay.
I did the combo thing with him.
My fault. Okay.
And he overperformed. No, I had everybody. I thought it was going to be a shootout. So I had, who's the kid with the big afro?
Garrett Allen?
No, for Detroit with the huge afro. Starts with a C. Curry.
Oh, Cade Cunningham.
Cunningham. Okay, so I had Cunningham overperforming. I had Harris overperforming. And he had 19. I had him at 18 and a half. He had 19 in the first quarter or first half. I was like, oh, I'm going to win. And now I'm waiting on your boy Bain. I've won at halftime. All I need is your boy Bain to get a big in the second half. And I'm still waiting. Quick timeout. We'll check the board, see what you all are talking about. When was the last time I won on that thing? Like literally like a year? It's the Ralph Bailey Show. It's the Bush. News Talk 96.1, AM 1230. Streaming live at KernRadio.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Coming up on the Tuesday edition of the...
Do you want to do Messmaker? You want me to play it?
Down, and the Democrats getting a lot of heat for it. Elizabeth Warren protecting consumers by making prices go up for them. We'll also talk about the latest with Cuba, an island that is in almost literal darkness these days. What's going on over there? We'll talk to somebody down here in South Florida who knows what's up on Play and Talk.
Live at 9 a.m., News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
Every Thursday at 4:30, Daniel Petrie lightens up the broadcast with his incredible wit, pure intelligence, political knowledge, and obviously an absolute master of economics. That's why he's such an important cog on this broadcast. And you can hear him even on some of his off days when there are financial movements that we can't explain. We lean on my man from Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors. And of course, you know what they're all about. They're all about retirement. I've turned at least 3 or 4 different people on to Messmaker Petrie Wealth Advisors, and they could not be happier. You could be happy as well with your situation in terms of the fourth quarter in your life if you call 395-9400, 395-9400, the offices of Messmaker and Petrie Wealth Advisors.
This broadcast is for informational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice or a solicitation for advisory services by Daniel Petrie or MPWA Incorporated, DBA, Messmaker, and Petrie Wealth Advisors. The program host is a client and receives compensation and other financial benefits in connection with this advertisement, creating a conflict of interest. Experiences discussed may not be representative of other clients.
Are you an adult with uncontrolled moderate to severe Crohn's disease symptoms and still packing a backup bag of clothes? Just in case, Skyrizi Risankizumab Risa can help you take control of your Crohn's. Feel significant symptom relief, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements at 4 weeks. Plus, Skyrizi is proven to help people achieve remission and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Individual results may vary. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Ready to take control of your Crohn's? Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease. Control is everything to me. Learn more at skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZY.
Meet Paul Sheldon's client, Dr. Roland Rodriguez. Hello, this is Bakersfield General Surgeon, Dr. Roland Rodriguez, client and friend of Mr. Paul Sheldon. It is my great pleasure and privilege to relate to all of you my absolute exemplary experience with Team Paul Sheldon. I have also referred a number of my colleagues to Paul Sheldon's office, only to receive the most stellar feedback from my doctor friends regarding the office's expert navigation through the complex maze that is Medicare. And even though Paul Sheldon himself is now facing some temporary health challenges, his long-standing, most experienced, and expertly trained team of ladies, Christine, Ellie, and Lynn, continue to masterfully guide the clients through the complicated world of Medicare. You most definitely could not possibly do any better than to reach out to Paul Sheldon several months before turning 65.
And they're not even going to run them.
Medicare matters. Our team has the answers.
I did too. I'm
Team
going to
Paul
run the audio.
Sheldon.
She was like, well, we'll see.
98. Clay
It's
Travis
not her
and Mark
voice.
Sexton, live at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
Now
It's
back
not-
to
and
the
it's not his
Ralph
race.
Bailey Show
too
on
short
News
for
Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
How do you keep avocados fresh?
This is a good question. I don't eat avocado.
You don't like avocados?
Do not.
Wow.
Randy says refrigerator.
Yeah? Because if I buy 3, I eat them in a weekend. If I buy 8, 3 go bad. Because they go bad in like 3 or 4 days. They're not bad, they just get soft and a little browny.
Mushy.
and mushy. Yeah. And I'm like, damn. So the fridge, is that the best way to keep in the fridge?
Yes, yeah, that's right.
Why? What's funny?
He said, speaking of mushy.
I am mushy. Hey, but I had Detroit. Had Detroit in 7.
Who would have known that the Orlando Magic wouldn't be able to shoot a dang basketball for
What are you
6
talking
straight
about?
quarters?
When I left here Friday, you were like, it's over, mush. You mushed it again.
They were up by 20.
And they came back and won.
They were up by 20.
Who, the Pistons?
No, the Magic were.
That's what I'm saying.
It was supposed to be over.
Well, the mush has his way.
Somehow. Some way. This is a double mush somehow. I don't know how he did it. I really don't.
Damn right. And I'm going to predict the rest of it in the 5. We're down to 8 teams. It's OKC versus LA, a 1-4. Minnesota versus San Antonio, a 6-2. Detroit and Cleveland, a 1-4, which is tonight, isn't it?
No, that's tomorrow.
Tomorrow. And what's tonight?
Tonight is Minnesota and San Antonio and Knicks and
Philly. 3-7.
Which is wild. Philly just played. I feel like you should have just had the West Coast play today.
No kidding. And Joel Embiid got hurt at the end of the game. Did you see that?
Yeah, he always
Maxey got banged into him on that charging play. Okay. Yeah, he's fine. He finished the game. But anything on the
play.
They absolutely need him to play.
They need him
and
to
he's an idiot. They will never get over the hump. They will never get over the hump because he did it last night and got away with it. Where late in the game, he's shooting threes.
Yeah.
He is 3 inches bigger than the guys guarding him, and he's shooting threes. He did it yesterday with a $1.20. I wrote it down. There was a $1.28 left. They were up by 4. You just need a hoop.
Yep.
You just need a hoop, son. And he throws up a 3. It was a 4-point swing. They went down and got it down to 2. They obviously got it back up because Philly beat them, but he's just an idiot. Remember that day that they won and I said that there was some statistic that 75% of his shots were 15 feet from within?
Something like that,
and they blew him out. When he does that, they're with Maxey on fire, they're almost unstoppable. He is their biggest issue, where he just won't post up and take advantage of his height. It's crazy. And I witnessed it because I start watching the NBA right now. I haven't watched, I'll watch some Laker games during the season, but I couldn't name teams, boop, 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 boop. Well, now with 8 left, I'll study, I'll know, we'll talk about it throughout the week and throughout the championship all the way through June. In the meantime, anything on the board before we get Kathy in here?
Actually, no, we're there.
All right. Coming up after Kathy, we're going to talk about Spirit shutting down and what you can do. In fact, if you have reservations for a Spirit. I told you guys when I got back from Vegas that Spirit was the worst airline that I'd ever been on, how they ambushed me with the carry-on fee, $79. And I was taking somebody with me, so I had to pay $180. Fortunately, the girl gave us kind of a pass on the way back. I only had to pay for my bag, but it's a bad thing because the airlines, the major players, are going to be nicey right now, and they are. They're offering $200 fares to return for those who are stuck. For example, if I were going to Philly to see Nick Ragone, and I took a Spirit flight, and now I'm stuck in Philly because Spirit is now out of business. United, Delta, JetBlue, Southwest are calling it rescue fares, where for $200 they'll fly you back home, which is very, very cool. Very, very cool. American and United are also offering some deals, as is Frontier, till May 10th. But believe me, after that, now that there's fewer, cheaper opportunities and alternatives, and now that gas, oil just jumped again, it's well over $100 a barrel. And I told you this at the beginning of Epic Fury, that the political pressure is really going to start to squeeze this administration because we're used to high gas prices. Hell, gas has been higher than this under the Biden administration. But this is going to get funky when airfare goes up. because it's graduation time. And grandma wants to go see her grandson graduate from high school, college, wherever. Or it's summertime and we're supposed to go to Orlando and supposed to go see grandma in Beaufort, South Carolina, et cetera, et cetera. And after this little love affair has gone over, after this little honeymoon, the airfares are going to be jacked up. I mean, jacked up. You're going to see $100 jumps in airfare. And that's when the political pressure is really going to hit this administration. And it is, it's going to be tough to extricate from this thing without the uranium. And once again, the question is, how do you get the uranium out of Iran? We played you audio last week, the president claiming that they were going to help us, that the Iranians were going to hand it over to us. This is why every day during Epic Fury, I have stated he has to play this straight. He cannot lie. He cannot exaggerate. He has got to play this straight. Quick timeout. Kathy Abernathy's next.
Kern Radio, AM 1230, KERN. 96.1 FM, K241CI, Bakersfield, an American General Media station.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Jeet Peters in Washington. The Supreme Court restores access to an abortion pill through telehealth mail-in pharmacies. Bernie Bennett reports.
The order signed by Justice Samuel Alito temporarily allows women seeking abortions to obtain the pill at pharmacies or through the mail without an in-person visit to a doctor. Those rules have been in effect for several years until a federal appeals court imposed new restrictions last week. The majority of abortions in the U.S. are obtained through medications, usually a combination of mifepristone and a second drug, misoprostol. The availability of those drugs has blunted the impact of abortion bans that most Republican-led states have sought to enforce since the 2022 Supreme Court ruling that overturned Roe v. Wade. Bernie Bennett in Washington.
The state of California says State Farm violated the law in handling wildfire claims.
California's top insurance regulator says the state is seeking millions of dollars in penalties from State Farm after an investigation found that the insurance company violated state law while handling claims from the 2025 Los Angeles area wildfires. The state's insurance commissioner says the department looked at 220 random claims filed to State Farm and found nearly 400 violations from the Palisades and Eaton fires. I'm Lisa Dwyer.
The Secret Service says a suspect who opened fire Monday on the National Mall did so after being confronted by officers. Secret Service Deputy Director Matt Quinn says officers returned the fire and a bystander was struck by the suspect. Worries about oil send stocks lower today. The Dow down by 557 points. The Nasdaq dropping 46. The S&P 500 lower by 29. Oil trading around $105 a barrel. More at townhall.com.
If you're hearing my voice, chances are you're either worried about a parent living alone or you are that parent. And you know your family worries about you too. Either way, there's a company that finally got senior safety right. Connected Caregiver. Connected Caregiver is everything you knew about alert devices, fall detection, emergency button, GPS, reimagined for today. There's a small wearable that alerts your family's phone the moment something happens. Inside your home, discrete sensors, no cameras, no microphones, just motion sensors have you covered even when you're not wearing it. No movement for hours, your loved ones will know. For the kids, you go from hoping everything's okay to knowing it is. And for you, you stay in your home on your terms while giving your precious family the peace of mind they've been asking for. That's not losing independence, that's keeping it. Visit ccgoffer.com to see if you qualify for a free device. It takes 2 minutes. That's ccgoffer.com, ccgoffer.com. Do it today.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update.
The evacuation warning in East Bakersfield. I'm Chris Davis. It's for Zone 443. The Kern County Sheriff's Office says the exact area is north of Edison Highway, south of Pioneer Drive, east of Comanche Drive, and west of Benna Ranch Road. And Benna Road, too. The tower fire has now grown to more than 2,500 acres, says the Kern County Fire Department, and they were still having a tough time this morning getting the fire under control. That fire started Sunday and grew quickly because of the dry vegetation and the winds that are continuing to push the fire to the north and to the east. You can expect low visibility if you are anywhere in that area, and the sheriff's office says there is no public access inside the evacuation zone. Meanwhile, Kern County firefighters say you should stay prepared all year in case of wildfires, and they published a list of things to do before a situation like this one develops, and that includes getting alerts from Ready Kern to know what to do, making a plan to protect your people, packing a go bag with things that you'll need, and building a stay box for when you can't leave. They also say be prepared to help friends and neighbors get ready. A shooting in South Bakersfield over the weekend. One person is dead and their name has not yet been released. 3 other people were sent to the hospital. Bakersfield PD says that happened 10:30 Saturday night on East Pacheco Road near Garber Way. They have not yet said exactly how that went down. The average price for gas in California now $6.06, says Gas Buddy. 521 at a station on Chester Avenue is the least expensive that you will find it in this area. The national average for gas is now $4.43, says Gas Buddy. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
So is that what I saw, like Cassie?
To the rest of well, in a month from now, this Hollywood Big Shot's gonna give you what you want.
Too late. They start shooting in a week.
I'm gonna make him an offer again with you.
The Ralph Bailey Show. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Hour 2 of the broadcast on this Monday, first Monday in May. It is the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, where we're streaming live at KernRadio.com. Coming to the bottom of the hour, we'll introduce you, perhaps, to Sherry DeVoe. She is a history maker. She became the first woman ever to win the Kentucky Derby as a trainer. You will hear from her. Cassie Biddle, owner-operator, KC Steakhouse, joins us in the 5. It is Cinco de Mayo tomorrow, and she'll tell you what they've got on the menu for that and for Mother's Day as well. That's coming up, and they've got some specials going on this weekend at KC Steakhouse. And we'll talk a little sports, as Chris and I were just discussing. We're down to 8 teams in the NBA. And did the Dodgers hang on yesterday? I left it 3-0 and didn't even want to watch. We lost yesterday?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm checking.
Are you serious? Y'all came back and beat us? Did they really beat us yesterday?
No, you guys won yesterday.
Thank you.
4-1.
4-1. Yeah, it was 4-1.
You won the night before, 3-2.
No, I don't mean the score. I thought we won 3 games.
No, you said 2 or 3.
2 games.
2 or 3. You won the series. No question.
Well, but
no, I was just saying the game yesterday. So we'll talk a little Dodger baseball as well. But in the meantime, as you've already heard, get your motor running. Head out on the highway. Kathy's looking for adventure. Professor Kathy Abernathy, how are you, Professor?
well, professor of politics, not perfect professor of baseball, but close. I did get that score wrong. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you won 2 or 3 though, and you're one of the hottest teams in baseball right now.
Well, considering the LA Dodgers are the LA Dodgers, and
you won like 11 out of 13.
Well, I know. I'm very impressed, but it kind of kills what I told you, my liberal socialist little piece I have in my brain, which is I'm not wild about baseball raising money by, and then the biggest cities with the biggest media markets have so much money to pay $700 million to a player. This is America's pastime. I want to be sure Detroit and Milwaukee and St. Louis and these other places can have a decent team. Otherwise, it will never be fun. But now this refutes what my thought was, because St. Louis for now, and it's only May starting. But, there is a point where New York, LA, and somebody else can say.
Kathy.
But still.
Let me help you.
Okay.
Let me help you. Stop. Just stop.
I should stop because I said me and socialists.
And believe me, a lot of smarter people than you in terms of sports feel exactly the way you do, but they're just as dumb as you are. Okay? So stop.
Tell me.
Because theoretically and physically, the Toronto Blue Jays should be the world's champions, but they did it to themselves. They absolutely did it to themselves. They outplayed us in the World Series. They outbatted us. They outpitched us. But we were more veteran. We were smarter. We did things better. And they did it to themselves. They had horrible base running. They did stupid things. And they should have won that baseball game. And their money is not as good as ours. And the other thing that these people don't know, including you, that they don't point out, as a lot of these teams that you are pointing to make money, but they don't reinvest it into their players. The greedy owners put it in their pocket and they run. You don't think the Pittsburgh's making money? No, they're not making Dodger money, but they're making money. And those owners are putting it in their pocket and they're sneaking off. And the New York Mets, again, is my final example, and then we can talk about the Lincoln Day dinner. They're paying a guy more than we're paying Shohei Ohtani, number one. Number two, they've got a payroll that is almost equal to ours, and they're one of the worst teams in baseball.
Wait, who's the they?
The Mets, the New York Mets.
Well, that's my problem. New York doesn't quite fit the mold. I know that. That kind of kills my point a little bit.
Absolutely.
Or a lot bit. But
and yet the Cincinnati Reds are doing well. Your Cardinals are doing well
today, but in the long run, we'll see. Maybe the Dodgers are holding back to make everybody feel heady.
I know the Padres. Well, no, we won yesterday, so we're still in first place. But the Padres are right behind us, and they don't have the payroll that we have.
Well, because a friend of mine was saying they were going to get tickets to a game, and they were $40. And San Diego Padres, is that possible? You can go to a baseball game in California for $40 on a major league team?
Not in LA.
Not
County.
in LA, but that's for
County,
sure.
But,
oh my gosh.
If it were just money, I would let this go. But there are so many other factors. The Dodgers have the best minor league system, the best scouting system, the best executives, and it's not even close. And even baseball experts know that. Friedman and Stan and all those guys that we have in our front office are just head and shoulders. Mark Walters, the owner, they're just head and shoulders better than everybody. It's just
but
the way
they
it
could
is.
be paying more to those people to work for them, the people you were just mentioning. It could be they got huge salaries, and of course, you got to be good to get a huge salary. You don't get it just because you work for the Dodgers. So,
Well,
no,
I
agree.
even if you're Kyle Tucker, but that's a whole other discussion.
But no, those are good. I may back off of my one piece of liberalism, which
we just do
right
things.
off.
We do things better than everybody. That's why we're the best.
But over the last 15 years, what percent of the time would you say you were in the top 2 or 3 teams at the end of the year?
We've won the division the last 11 years.
Yeah.
We just haven't been able, just of late, we've been able to get over the hump and win some championships. But we've dominated the West for like a decade.
Okay, we've gone as deep as I can go.
Yeah.
I'm arguing with you. I don't know.
How was the Lincoln Day dinner?
Thursday night, it was very nice. Thank you for asking.
I wouldn't know. I got the Kathy Abernathy invitation.
12
you know what
minutes
the Kathy Abernathy invitation is, don't you?
Somewhat late.
The tee's off at about 6. You'll get a call from Kathy about 10:30, 11 o'clock that morning.
I think it was afternoon.
Yeah, it might have been the afternoon, but thanks, Kathy.
And you worked till 6, I thought.
Yeah.
No.
That's the Kathy Abernathy.
The reason it was so special was when I hosted in your place when you had already booked the America's Veterans Band. Such a good group of 10 people, 1 woman, 9 others, and they're veterans and family of veterans, but 6 of the 10 at least have a long veterans history, or maybe 7. They played for us.
Yeah, the guys at Bakersfield College.
Really?
Yeah.
They were so good. The audience so loved them. We sang the national anthem. I didn't get a singer. I let them play and we sang to it. And then at the end, God Bless America. With these veterans, oh my goodness, it was the best part. So thank you. I'm so glad that I met them that day.
That's
I filled
outstanding.
in for you.
That's outstanding. But I guess it was a kind of done by committee because the congressman couldn't get out here.
Yeah, the other congressman, the guest speaker, Patrick Harrigan, North Carolina, great man. I mean, he's the one. West Point, nuclear engineering, businessman, 2 tours of Afghanistan, bronze medal, and he was our guest speaker. But they voted really late on that Thursday, and so between the planes he was trying to catch, it didn't work out. But Vince did make it at very last minute, so that worked out. It was a good event, and our essay contest with Cassie Biddle was heading that up for us. It's a high school essay contest. We hold it every year. How would Lincoln handle an issue both locally or nationally if he was president today? And the winner was from Stockdale, and Sophia Martin, and she reads her speech, and the other 2, they all get financial awards.
Oh, you should have brought it in.
The speech or her?
Yeah,
Okay.
or both.
Well, yeah, I will, and I'll see if she can do it. The second place winner, they're also busy. She had opening night of a play she's in, so she couldn't come.
What was the issue?
Well, the issue is write an essay. If President Lincoln was alive today, how would he handle some pending issue?
Yeah, what was the issue?
Oh, what was the issue? Hers was about this billionaire's tax in California, and how she read a quote from Lincoln that I hadn't heard before about how you're being a homeowner, the importance of that for a society, and that you shouldn't punish somebody who has one because some don't. And she did a nice job.
That is the advantage of AI and the technology. Because when we were growing up, it would have taken us 3 days to find that quote.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Okay, the quote, because she wrote the piece.
Yeah. No. Just
Yeah.
the quote itself. You can just punch that in and
it's
quotes on just Lincoln quotes on money.
Yeah.
And it'll
right.
pop up.
Yeah.
For us, we'd have to go through the microfiche or through
Go
the
down the library, look up
encyclopedias.
the 350.98.
Yep.
Does anyone know the Dewey Decimal System? Because I
No.
did then, but I still
not
don't.
anymore. Are you kidding?
They don't even know what you mean when you
No,
say it.
they don't. Do you know who created the Dewey Decimal System?
Mr. Dewey?
Mr. Franklin.
Oh, Ben Franklin.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
Interesting.
Yes, he did.
I should know
He
that.
invented the library, as a matter
Then
of
why
fact.
is it called Dewey?
I have no idea. I
I
think
have to Google that.
yeah, I don't
Find out.
think that's a name.
Dewey? D-E-W-E-Y.
Is that how it's
is.
spelled?
Yeah.
Maybe my facts are incorrect. I thought for sure. Maybe it's just that he created the library. Do you know who created the Library of Congress?
Well, Congress would take credit, but who? A person?
A
president.
A president offered all of his works, and that became the Library of Congress.
Who did
You
a
should
lot
be
of
able to
writing?
guess this.
Um,
Who's the greatest writer of the Founding Fathers?
well, Lincoln, but he wouldn't have had
Of the Founding Fathers.
Oh, the Founding Fathers. Oh,
Come on.
well, Ben Franklin is smart.
No,
but
who's the best writer? of the-
Jefferson?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Yes, Jefferson.
So
And
way
then
back then.
he gave
Okay.
all of his books to the Library of Congress, made it a library. Then he traveled to France, bought them all back, and created his own library again. It's a true story, according to history.
Uh-huh.
Just thought I'd throw
Yeah,
that.
those.
Okay,
well,
what was I wrong about, Chris? Chris gets all excited when I'm wrong. What was I wrong about?
Because you're wrong. I'm just letting you know that
What was it?
technically the Dewey Decimal System was created by Melville Dewey.
Yeah, see. So Lincoln created.
Technically, but you said the Library of Congress, but then you said,
But I do know that Benjamin Franklin's created the library. That much I do know.
oh, okay.
That much I will put my life on.
Okay, so why are we going to Jefferson?
Because he created the Library of Congress.
Well, Library of Congress.
Yeah,
Okay, all
big
right.
difference, big difference. He donated
Right.
all of his books.
Have you been to the Library of Congress?
I have not.
You have, and you've been on all those trips. You
I
have to
know.
go, and you have to go in the reading room, and your listeners go into the reading room. I could sit there and read a book for the rest of my life. It is so beautiful. It's so much what a library could be if you have that kind of money, I guess. But it's just a great room to go into.
Yeah.
You want to do that. The reading room of the Library of Congress.
My favorite place in Washington is the Smithsonian.
Mhm.
The Smithsonian is breathtaking.
The old ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
original, the
absolutely.
castle and and then the documents, the
Spirit of St.
Constitution.
Louis hangs up
Hanging on the
there.
ceiling
And
and-
just, the Constitution.
You've got that,
and-
now you got space shuttles.
Yeah, exactly. Space shuttles. You can see Archie Bunker's chair. I mean, it's just so filled with just things that are just
Everything in America.
everything. Yeah.
And you go to another foreign country and you have to pay to go into these places.
Mhm.
And this country, last I was there, it was all free. And I think that's wonderful too, because I don't I don't know why. I'm surprised Obama's charging to go to his library. I didn't know
Well,
presidential
of course he
libraries
is.
charge.
I didn't
Oh.
either. Of course he is.
I'm surprised.
How people don't take their children to Washington.
It's the
at least
cheapest
once-
vacation.
It really is.
Once you get there,
It really,
everything's
really
free.
is.
Everything is free.
It really, really is. And
And-
it's just gorgeous. Take them during Easter or during the summer. And
Well, and there's so
kinda
much
deal
seat
with the-
inside or outside. I mean, it's just.
yeah, it really is.
The only thing that I'm glad we did when we were on vacation with my older daughter when she was little, we went to Philadelphia, and the only time we had was around New Year's Eve. We could touch the Liberty Bell, and I'm told normally you're so far back, 'cause
Yeah.
it's so packed. I mean, there was nobody, so that's another good time to go between Christmas and New Year's. A lot of these places are less busy, but I don't know why.
I love Philly. I'll be
Yeah.
there in September.
What you doing there?
Playing in the golf tournament. Mr. Regone moved there
Oh.
and is creating a championship tour
Oh, nice.
tournament, just like he did in St.
And
Louis.
September should be nice.
Yeah.
It'll be hot and sweaty at least.
It'll be a little warm, but yeah, it won't be
Yeah.
won't be as bad
I
as
think
it.
I heard him saying that when you were on he was on your
Yeah,
show.
yeah, I'm excited about that.
No, Philadelphia, that's nice.
Ah, it's one of my favorite cities. It's one of my. I've told you. I think, in fact, I was telling you my favorite Philly story. We went in. I went with Larry Fields, Lois Henry's ex-husband, and Rob Walters and Jeff Harbin. We were going to the Preakness, as a matter of fact. And
Wow.
Rob stayed in York, Pennsylvania. So we stayed in Philly for a couple of days, and we went into this bar. And like I've always, when I tell the story, the guy's straight out of Central Casting. He literally had on a cutoff shirt with no sleeves and this big gold medallion hanging around his neck. And he looked like a bouncer, but he was the bartender. And he said, "What can I get you?" And Larry says, "Ralph's gonna have a Jack Daniels, and I'm gonna have a Greyhound." And the guy goes, "What the hell is a Greyhound? I got a Greyhound in the back. We feed him every day. What the hell is a Greyhound?" And he says, "Well, it's vodka and grapefruit juice." "Then why didn't you just say vodka and grapefruit juice? What are you gonna say? Hey, man, we got any Greyhounds back there? This guy wants a Greyhound up here." And so next time we're having a second drink, and Larry goes to the bar. We're all like, "Shh, let's listen." Larry goes, "I'll have a vodka and grapefruit juice, please."
It sounds like the
So-
guy's trying to be Sylvester Stallone
Yeah,
too.
I love that. That's just Philly. They're all like that.
And what's the famous sandwich there that we had?
Oh, the cheesesteaks.
Yeah, cheese.
Oh,
those-
Geno's. Geno's is the best, if you ask me.
Yeah, those traditions still last. It's interesting. I've never
And you know
seen a
what-
sandwich like that.
Do you know
anywhere
what
else.
cheese they use?
No.
Cheese Whiz. I'm not
Now
joking.
you're taking the
Look
threat
it
out
up.
for
Look
me.
it up. They use Cheese Whiz. I'm not making that up. I've been there 3 times. I've been to Philly. They use
Really?
Cheese Whiz.
It was
Yes.
good. Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
Just
why.
saying. Just saying.
But,
Big gubernatorial debate tomorrow. The final of the 3. CNN is putting it on. That's how big this. That's how weird this race is. That CNN is putting on a statewide
California
election.
one.
Yeah.
The big 3 is
Well, it's Becerra, Hilton, and Bianco.
they're not taking
Your
another
girl isn't
Democrat?
really moving. Well, no, they're all going to be there. Everybody's
Oh,
going
you
to be
said
there.
the big 3. I thought you
No,
were
it's the
only-
third of three
Third.
three
Oh,
debates.
right,
Third
right.
debate, yeah. But no, everybody's going to be there. Antonio Villalobos is going to be there. All the 1%ers are going to be there. Tony Thurmond, who, by the way, and I know you're going to think I'm saying it because he's black, and I'll admit, maybe, I don't know.
Tommy
He's-
Thurman's black. I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
He is a smart brother.
Huh?
I mean, he doesn't have a chance in hell of winning.
No.
But I listened to his in the last debate. He's a smart brother and one of the few Democrats who was willing to say, "I will rescind the gas tax." But
Well,
Can this-
if he
will
could be
this-
Republican, I put everybody behind him because that thing's got to go. Because you know they're going to give us the gas tax and the mileage tax on top of it. They're going to drop the gas tax this much to give you a mileage tax on top of it.
and it's just so amazing because Pat Harvey, you remember Pat Harvey, the black girl on KCAL? She's been
Yeah.
there forever. Been there forever. She goes to church with my mother, as a matter of fact. And when my mom goes to bed, my mom goes to Baptist church and Catholic churches. Just she does. Just depending
She
on
likes
the
the
mood.
contrast.
Yeah, she does. She does. And when she goes to Baptist church, she goes to Pat Harvey's church. And she asked all of them, "Will you rescind the gas tax?" And every Democrat
That
proudly was
reporter
like-
does?
Yeah, she asked them at the
Good
debate.
for her.
Yeah, and they all proudly, other than Thurman, like, "No, absolutely not, absolutely not." All of them proudly, and only Bianco and Hilton obviously were like, "Absolutely." And Tony Thurman was the only Democrat who said, "Yes, I would."
Wow.
Yeah, but
Well,
to see-
I wish he'd raise some money so people would know that because I don't think anybody knows
Yeah.
it. No, and that, in fact, you might want to have the local chair of the state Young Republicans with the Kern County Young Republicans are having a debate of Steve Hilton and Bianco this Saturday, 2 p.m.
Really? Where's that?
Yeah, that's going to be on California. It's called the Liberty Center. It's California and Lenox. And so you might want to look at their Facebook and if you want details on it. But those two are coming. I was surprised they both come, but they are.
This Saturday?
Yeah.
I'm in LA Saturday.
Yeah, a lot because of Mother's Day. I'm concerned.
That sucks.
Some people will be gone, but anyway, they will be local. But yeah, Katie Porter, I've not seen much money being spent by her.
Nope.
I don't know if it's dried up.
She's not moving
But
either.
I can't say I've seen a lot of Becerra, but then I can't say I've been looking as much.
He's a horrible candidate. He really is.
He seems egotistical beyond what you expect him to be. But this Ana Caballero, who's trying to be the state treasurer.
Yeah.
Well, have you seen her ads? Not only does she want ICE out of California, that's immigration defenders of our side, but whatever. She's saying any business in California that supports ICE or does business with ICE will not get any money from the state of California. I mean, she's just
she's insane.
rabid dog, yeah. So I don't know whether we'll be able to do anything in that race next November, but that's the only thing she campaigns on. You know, our state treasurer, first of all, you can't deny money. The legislature does it, but I don't put anything past that legislature. They'd love to ban somebody for, not being part of the team of Sacramento Democrats. But
there was another article today because the author clearly listens to the Ralph Bailey show, saying that just the fear that Bianco and Hilton could be the top two has gotten Democrats to rethink the jungle primary.
Oh, good.
As I suggested last week, because they are freaking out. They really are. Because there is, again, I'm not saying likelihood, but there is a remote chance that they could get completely shut out of this thing. And God, what a day that would be.
Yeah, if two Republicans, and we have two pretty popular ones, Steve Hilton and Chad Bianco, if they pull this off and get one more vote, that's all it takes, then the next Democrat in line, that will blow. This legislature will go in and change the Constitution and switch it to. They'll do something to throw a Democrat in the general.
They absolutely will.
Yeah,
They absolutely
I wouldn't
will.
put it past them. That's
There's
how
no
much
question.
it means to them. And I know everybody. I got the voice message today that my ballot's in the mail. Most everybody got that, so it's probably hit here Wednesday or Thursday. And my ballot recs will be out. They'll be on Facebook and email in a couple days. But I really haven't taken a stand on governor because they're both good people. And ultimately, Kern County voters aren't going to decide who's the next governor. But you can decide Measure A. County, it's at the very bottom. And I keep telling people, your ballot's going to be this long if you're on YouTube. So that's 20 feet. Because there's 62 names for governor.
Right.
Then a dozen for lieutenant governor and about 20 some for one of the other offices. And so your ballot's going to be long, and then you get your local congressman, assemblyman, state senator, board of equalization, all that. And then at the very, very, very end, there's no statewide initiatives. One county measure, which is Measure A, to change us from a general law county to a charter county. We were made general law in 1865. But nearby counties like Fresno, they're a charter county. It gives you a little more control. One of the things it controls is the governor doesn't get to appoint your vacancies, like when, or board of supervisors and that sort of thing.
Like when Couch leaves the board.
And which he will because he has no opponent, primary or general, and 2 more years on his term. So we don't need Gavin Newsom handing us who he thinks would be a good Kern County supervisor. So need a yes vote on Measure A. That's my main campaign.
So ID will be on the June ballot. Voter ID will be on the June ballot.
No, this June, no.
So is it on this ballot?
Well, this is June ballot. It's not on the June. Voter ID is not on the June ballot.
I mean, November ballot.
Oh, November
ballot.
Well, I havenn't seen. They keep saying it's qualified.
Yeah, no, it qualified.
So it's qualified. Yeah.
I thought, but that was my
But not
mistake. I
June.
thought it qualified for June,
No.
but it qualified for November.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So
That's going to win.
Yeah. Well,
That's gonna win.
there'll be a big campaign against it. You watch. The Democrats don't want anything that puts any rules into something as significant as voting, and
Yeah, but
that's unfortunate.
That's an 80-20 issue, even in California.
I
Maybe
would
maybe
think.
70-30, maybe
Yeah.
60-40. But
But the campaign will be, oh, people don't have driver's license. Oh, married women who didn't change their name. We all did it. You know, it's easy to do. It wasn't hard. You don't have to all do it tomorrow morning. So if you want to live under your maiden name, you can live that way. That's not a problem. But they're trying to make those issues.
and I think black folks have grown tired of being told that they're so oppressed that they don't have IDs.
That whole thing,
It's
I
just
hope,
crazy.
it's pathetic what how the
You
Democrats like
you
to play
can't.
it.
If the government sends you a check, you can't cash it without an ID.
Yeah.
You can't fly.
You get a library card.
You can't buy a pint of booze. You can't buy a gun. Give me a break.
And you can't go vote in person if you don't have a driver's license, which is the way it's been here for 100 years.
100 years.
So how can it be that they don't have driver's license?
It's crazy. It's crazy. Kathy Abernathy, everybody. Thank you, Kathy.
Thank you, Ralph.
Quick time out. We'll get into the historical Kentucky Derby. And then Cassie Biddle joins us at the top of the hour. I would stick around if I you. Sherry DeVoe was so cute. She's the first woman to win at the Kentucky Derby. And yeah. And there's a shot of her. Yes. So Terry was a boy. Oh, the owner was a woman. You're right.
Current Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
With us on news.
Headlines from the KERN newsroom.
The Tower Fire has now burned more than 2,500 acres and is moving to the north and east, being pushed by the wind, says the Kern County Fire Department. The evacuation area is north of Edison Highway, south of Pioneer Drive, east of Comanche Drive, and west of Benner Ranch Road. The Kern County Sheriff's Office says there is no public access in the evacuation area. You are now paying $6.06 on average for a gallon of regular across the state, says Gas Buddy. The least expensive in this area is at a station on Chester Avenue in Bakersfield that has it for $5.21. No arrests yet in a Saturday night fatal shooting on East Pacheco Road near Garber Way. Bakersfield PD says one person died and 3 more are in the hospital. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Support comes from Amazon Business. Unlock smart business buying with fast, free delivery on millions of items and practical AI innovations that automate repetitive tasks so you can make smarter decisions faster. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver from New Nordic, the delicious daily detox that will keep you feeling your best. Search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon or pick up some at your local CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
First Look with Scott Cox, morning 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Tuesday edition of the First Look program, sadly, we will be without the services of Lois Henry. But if you check out this article in USA Today, they are copying and pasting her work about golden mussels right here in Bakersfield. Plus news and traffic and weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m.
K42 KERN, an appropriate song for our topic because it has been a family affair for Sherry DeVoe, who is the first woman trainer ever to win the Kentucky Derby. She's only the second woman trainer to win, a Triple Crown event. Jenny Tanucci won the Belmont back in 2023. Rand Dizzle down the hallway was telling me that Secretariat, who's one of the greatest athletes that ever lived, literally, and how that animal is not in the discussion is beyond me. Because if you remember Secretariat, if you know the history of Secretariat, it's just one of the most amazing animals I've ever seen, one of the most amazing horse races. The 3 that he won to win the Triple Crown were just stupid. And he still holds the record. I think it was set in 72. And just to put it in perspective, he would have beaten the field by 15 lengths. And he still holds the track record. And much like Sherry DeVoe's horse, Golden Tempo, what is it? Golden Tempo. Secretariat was a comeback horse. In fact, out of 2 of the 3 Triple Crowns that Secretariat won, at some point in the race, Secretariat was dead last, as was Golden Tempo. And I'm sure if you were watching it, because most of you were, because they broke another record. It was the highest rated Kentucky Derby since they've been monitoring it since 1988. Almost 20 million people watch this thing. And they backed this thing up now, because I was at the fire hydrant. I got there about 1:45, had some lunch, a couple cocktails. But normally the race goes off at like 3:30. Well, now that NBC knows that it's a moneymaker, they've backed it up. I don't think the race went off till like 4 o'clock. Because I was like, we'll be back in time for the start of the Dodger game. No, we weren't. We were back in time for the start of the NBA, but that's beside the point. But it was a terrific race. I mean, her horse was dead last. And not only was her horse dead last, but he chose to pick off and come around from the wide side, which means he's got more ground to make up. And Renegade, who was the favorite, was the one that he beat. And it goes to show you something. If you're a horse racing fan, you want to put this in your little Rolodex. It's now been 41 years since anyone has won from the number 1 hole. That was where what did I say the name of the horse was? The one horse, the favorite, Renegade. And not only did he not win from the 1 hole, but almost won, but that was the jockey Jose Ortiz. That was his brother. He barely beat his brother, and both their parents flew into the country to watch them. And I mean, can you imagine?
That's cool.
Isn't that cool?
That's really cool.
That if you're gonna lose, you want to lose to your brother.
I'm a sucker for family stories in sports, man.
That's what makes Sherry DeVoe so incredible. Here is the trainer of Golden Tempo.
Golden Tempo is what we call a deep closer. So he is out the back, and he just doesn't have a lot of speed, but he has a lot of stamina. And towards the end of the race, he does have we call it a quick turn of foot. So he can make up a lot of ground. But just in the early stages, he likes to just hang out behind and let them all do the hard work, and then he can just finish up and, beat them all at the end.
I'm sorry, that was my fault. I thought I asked for another bite. I didn't get the bite that I thought I did, which was where she was talking about her family and how she became a trainer. And the way she became a trainer was she was just kind of a horse person in a horse family. And it was her husband who kind of pushed her forward and said, you could do this. She got a job. She tells the story. She got a job one summer. She was lazy, and her family was, why don't you get a job? It's like, I don't know, where am I going to get a job? This one, and then the first thing your teenager will tell you, where am I going to get a job? You go look for one. That's when you get a job. And the mom said, well, there's a job at the stable, and all you got to do is walk the horses. That's all you got to do. And that's how her whole career began. And she said she wasn't a big thoroughbred fan. She didn't follow the races, but she loves horses. She got involved in it. And when she got in that fork of the road, she went to her husband, and he said, absolutely, you can do this. And look what's going on. And like I said at the top of the show, just in case you weren't with us, if you have not seen the video, and I don't know how you would look it up, where you would find it, because it was probably by somebody independently, but it's a really cool video. Like the front version of her going nuts is one thing, because she knows the camera's on her and it's right in her face and she's going nuts. But there's a great back view where there's somebody behind her. And like I said, she's standing up. It's like a bar, but it's not a bar. It's got like a table, a top tabletop. And she is leaning on the top of the tabletop, and she's in midair, holding herself up at the tabletop, and she's in tennis shoes, and she's kicking the wall of the bar thing as the horse is coming down the stretch. And you can tell you don't have to know what's going on in the race. You have to watch her feet, because she's slowly kicking it, and then she starts kicking a little faster, and then at the very end she's just pounding this wall with her feet, and then she jumps up, and you can tell obviously she's won. And it's just a really, really cool moment. It really, really was. She was there with her stepdaughter, who was in tears, and it was just like Chris said, it was a familial moment that if it didn't get to you, there's something wrong with you. The only sad point is these trainers today, these owners, it's all about money. It's no longer about the great joy of competition, the great joy of saying, I'm number one, that we've done something that very few horses have done. Like I said, we see it in basketball with load management, where these guys who are making $60, $70 million, and mom and dad who are making $60,000, $70,000 spend $100 to take their kid to see LeBron, and he's not playing because of load management. He ain't hurt. He's just, this is a back-to-back night, so LeBron's not playing. And we've seen this now even in horse racing, where it was just, when I was growing up, and I would say as late as maybe 10 years ago, if you won the Kentucky Derby, there was no question you were going to Pimlico and going to challenge for the Preakness. It wasn't even a reporter wouldn't even ask the owner or the trainer whether you're going to the Preakness. Now, for other horses that don't win and that don't have a chance at winning the Triple Crown, why would you win the Preakness? Why would you run your horse 2 weeks from now if you have nothing to win but the Preakness? That I understand. And you wait a month and then you try to win the Belmont. But you have the rare opportunity to become one of, hey Siri, how many horses have won the Triple Crown?
13 horses have.
You could become one of 13 horses, and you're just going to be like, nah. Here's what she told Craig Melvin, and I think Savannah was there this morning on the Today Show this morning.
The Preakness is shorter in distance, and now the Belmont is at Saratoga. They're doing renovations on the racetrack, so we're still at a mile and a quarter, which he relishes. So we'll have to see how he comes out of the race, and he gets a couple easy days. He's probably snoozing right now, and
when will you know?
We'll try to make a decision by the end of the week.
Okay. Yeah, they ain't going. I guarantee you they ain't going. It'd be nice. see a horse try to become the 14th horse to become the Triple Crown winner, but they ain't going. They ain't going. Just the fact that he's a comeback horse, it's a shorter race, it doesn't fit him, blah, 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 blah. And why rush him when we can win? We have a better chance of winning the Belmont, blah, 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 blah. That is just the 21st century mentality. Don't compete for the sake of competing. Only compete when the chances are in your favor. Don't compete night to night when you can take a night off. Screw the fans. You know what I'm saying? Screw that little Johnny and his dad who saved up the money to come see you, LeBron, when you can just rest up after night on a road trip. Why expend the effort to try to be a Triple Crown winner when we can rest and win a couple of million in a month in Belmont? There's just no desire for competition or just being part of history. It just that attitude, just sucks. Really does. And then we wonder why everything else is just kind of dropped. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just an old man. But I like competition. You know what I mean? I like trying to be part of something different, something bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? And you would think as the first female trainer to win the Kentucky Derby, she'd be like, dude, I got a chance to be the first female to win Triple Crown. Let's go. What the hell are you talking about? We're not going. But, I guess when there's that much money on the line, if the owner says the horse is going to run with 3 legs, you try to train the horse to run with 3 legs. You know what I'm saying? But you would think at that level, she's made so much money that she could tell the owner, screw you, I'll go train somebody else. I'm the one that helped get you here. I don't know. All right, let's take a break. And we come back, we'll check the board, see what you all are talking about. Then we're eating tacos at the top of the hour. Cassie Biddle is going to preview her, not only Taco Tuesday, but Cinco de Mayo. The 5th of May is tomorrow. Its significance? My Reds do. Other than that, yo soy cubano. I'm not Cuban. Got a little Indian blood in me, though. Just saying. No, not Sikh blood, but Comanche. Chris didn't even see that. He didn't even see that. Looking at his phone. He didn't even see that. Funniest thing I've done all day. Chris didn't see it. Quick time out. Coming right back. It's TRBS on a Monday. Right here on New Stock 96.1, AM 1230. And we're streaming live at currentradio.com.
Current Radio, News Talk.
Luigi's.
ERN.
Coming up on the Tuesday edition of the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, the aftermath of Spirit Airlines going down and the Democrats getting a lot of heat for it. Elizabeth Warren protecting consumers by making prices go up for them. We'll also talk about the latest with Cuba, an island that is in almost literal darkness these days. What's going on over there? We'll talk to somebody down here in South Florida who knows what's up on Clay and Buck.
Live at 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
You know what you should do for your mom for Mother's Day? I know it's not Saturday. Relax. But get her to get dressed up on Saturday. Tell her you're taking her someplace special and end up at Luigi's Restaurant and Old World Delicatessen. What a pre-Mother's Day afternoon that would be. If you want my suggestions, I would start with the truffles. That's just me. But there are all kind of appetizers. And like I say, whenever I talk about Luigi's Restaurant or World Delicatessen, what in the world could I tell you about Luigi's that you don't already know? You may not know that it began as a grocery store, essentially. Gino's great-grandfather just simply trying to feed the folks in the neighborhood. That's how the deli got started. And the restaurant tooled off of that. The warehouse tooled off of that. And 116 years later, it is the single most iconic restaurant in Kern County. Where would you rather be than at Luigi's Restaurant and Old World Delicatessen, longtime sponsor of the Ralph Bailey Show?
And we're back.
Here we are.
Rob and Bob for
Back.
California Fruit Depot. We are going to make the nation's first complete AI commercial.
we are.
Yes, we're going to talk about we're open 9 to 5, 7 days a week. We have great shakes. We have great staff. We have oranges, citrus, nuts, all locally grown. Lots of it, all around. So here's version 1.
California Fruit Depot is located near Bakersfield, California, off the Highway 58. Open 7 days a week, 9 to 5. Top-rated staff, phenomenal shakes and smoothies, sweet citrus, locally grown nuts, and so much more. Rob and Bob, nationally syndicated, locally appreciated radio talents, are their spokespeople. Free lemons are available, free parking, and so much more.
And here's version 2.
Yeehaw! California Fruit Depot, located off Highway 58. Smoke them if you got them. Great staff, wonderful prices, shakes, smoothies, free lemons, free parking. Come one, come all. Open 7 days a week, 9 to 5. Closed most major holidays.
And for those of you in the 08,
AI is not something you cover with an eye patch. CalFruitDepot.com.
Gas costs more. Groceries cost more. And Sacramento keeps making decisions like Kern County doesn't exist. Andre Gonzalez isn't waiting around for someone else to fix it. Born and raised right here in Bakersfield, Andre Gonzalez has spent his career delivering for this community. He created a community land trust so working families can actually afford to own a home. He's fought to make sure Kern County gets its fair share from Sacramento to fix roads and build water infrastructure, not just the scraps LA and the Bay Area leave behind. Andre Gonzalez is backed by California's firefighters, classroom teachers, and he is the only candidate endorsed by the California Democratic Party. Join them. Vote for Andre Gonzalez for State Assembly on or before June 2nd. Ad paid for by California Credit Union League Political Action Committee, not authorized by a candidate or a committee controlled by a candidate.
Clay Travis and Buck Sexton live at 9 a.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KE.
It's 842 KERN. Coming up at 5, we're going to talk a little NBA. We'll talk about the playoffs. It is down to 8 teams. Oklahoma is trying to defend their championship against the Lakers. What's the latest on Luka?
As far as I know, he's still out, but he's going to try to push to play in this series. At best, though, you're probably going to have to wait till game 3 or 4.
I got a funny feeling.
If LeBron pulls out one in Oklahoma, I'd be surprised.
And golfers know who I'm mimicking. Ben Crenshaw. When the U.S. Ryder Cup team had an unsurmountable comeback on Sunday. And on Saturday, Ben Crenshaw looked into the NBC cameras and waved his finger like Bill Clinton. I did not have sex with Hillary Clinton at any point in our marriage. And he said, I got a funny feeling about my team. I'm telling you, I got a funny feeling. Lakers in 5.
That would be a hell of a...
Who you didn't get that?
Oh, I get that, yeah.
That's the Shannon Sharp. Yeah. Lakers in 5. That's the only fun. I used to actually like Shannon Sharp. I keep forgetting that.
He's oversaturated.
Oh,
he does too much.
About that whole sexual thing. And
That ruined it for you?
Yeah, it's a perfect storm. First, it was the alleged tape of him having sex.
Yeah, that was definitely
That was
on
so
purpose.
staged. You can't accidentally turn on your deal. You just can't. Even I can't do that. Okay? And if you don't know what we're talking about, he somehow accidentally taped himself having sex. And it's very vivid and lurid and like, who your dad is, mine, it belong to me, girl. And I'm like,
it's a sharper Arnold.
and then there was the accusations of him, and then there's just Club Shay Shay itself is just so messy, as black folks say in the hood. And he is the king stir. He is the straw that stirs the messy drink. He brings on controversial people, and he asks them questions that almost force them to either say, well, I don't want to talk about that, or let me tell you about Jazz McKay. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if somebody sat me down and wanted to do an interview and their first question is, what are your thoughts of Jazz McKay? I'm either going to say, you know what, it's in my past. I'm going to say, let me tell you a couple stories. We once had a Photoshop. Never mind. But anyway, I just, but I used to love him. And you know what? You know when he lost my respect? He should have punched Skip Bayless in the face. That infamous day where he compared him to Tom Brady, and that he was jealous of Brady, and he just eviscerated the man on national television, who was supposed to be his partner, and just, I've never seen any partner treat another partner like that on television. And he should have just said, I want to let the producers know that you should go ahead and call the police department. Go ahead and call the police department. Excuse me, 1 second. Boom! And hit him right in the mug because he went way too far. He said that the man was jealous of Tom Brady because Brady was a better player. And, you know, you're talking to a guy who's in the Hall of Fame. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one thing if he was just kind of a C plus B player and you're saying, wow, you're just jealous because Brady was an A plus and you were a C plus B. Dude was a Hall of Famer. Dude is one of the top 15 tight ends in the history of the football game. That might be a stretch, but I can make a pretty good argument based on his stats.
Really, you could probably say top 10.
There's some good tight ends, dude.
You know, and especially the surge we've had the last couple of years.
Yeah,
you're right. A lot of these newer guys would probably be better than him.
Hurts and
he'll even tell you his brother was better than he was.
And his brother wasn't a tight end, but his brother was more talented.
Yeah.
The only thing his brother's career was shortened was because of his neck injury. But his brother was phenomenal. Sterling Sharp was one of the best receivers I ever grew up with. Anything on the board before we get to Miss Biddle?
Yes, I got a couple.
What do you got?
What do you mean Ben Franklin created the library? Ancient Alexandria, Egypt had a library.
Well, he created the American Library. Hey, Siri, show me Benjamin Franklin. Do I have to read it to you? What else you got?
Benjamin Franklin was an American.
Ralph, Donald Trump lied today. He said weeks ago that we obliterated their military, which included their Navy. But today he turned around and said we fired on their Navy ships.
Well, I pointed that out. When he said that. And I argued with several listeners who said that they almost said like the little speedboats don't count. I said that when they shot at an F-15 and knocked it down. And we said that we controlled the airspace. No, we dominated the airspace. Words matter. And there is a difference between dominating and controlling. There's a big difference. And obviously we didn't dominate it because they shot down one of our planes. And one of the listeners came in and said, well, you know, one of the F-15s is not one of the fastest planes. And I'm like, an F-15? Really? One more.
Ralph, would you support public financing for elections?
Absolutely. I believe I would. If it would end what's going on right now. I don't know if that would help, but I absolutely would. I'm now looking for Benjamin Franklin, if you want to know the truth. Just trying to see. for fire department, treated Paris, lightning rod, bifocals, glass harmonica, the Franklin stove.
If you type it into Google, Benjamin Franklin.
He founded many civic organizations, including the Library Company, the University of Pennsylvania, and Philadelphia's first fire department.
American Libraries.
Thank you. American Libraries. I beg your pardon. Anything left?
Yes, right here. One more thing. It says, Ralph, I'm noticing something missing from the winner of the Kentucky Derby's title. Shouldn't she be labeled the first white woman, not to be the first one, or not just the first woman?
Why would you have to identify her as the first white woman?
He says, I'm playing by Democrat rules. Fair is fair.
If there had been prior, if all the other female winners were black, then you would say she is the first white woman. But since white people dominate the American society, when you say she is the first female, we all assume, based on our history, that she would have to be the first white woman. That's just based on our society. No one would ever guess that a first as something would be a first black woman as opposed to a first white woman. As inarticulately as I put that. Cassie Biddle joins us next.
Kern Radio, AM 1230, KERN, 96.1 FM, K241CI, Bakersfield, an American General Media station.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Jeet Peters in Washington. Europe is responding to President Trump's decision to pull out thousands of U.S. troops from Germany following a spat with its chancellor.
European leaders say President Donald Trump's decision to pull thousands of U.S. troops out of Germany came as a surprise, but is further proof that they must take care of their own security. Speaking at a summit in Armenia, Norway's Prime Minister Jonas Gahr Støre told reporters,
That because I think we are expecting that Europe is taking more charge of its own security.
The Pentagon announced last week that 5,000 troops would leave, but Trump said Saturday the number would be much higher. He offered no reason for the move, which blindsided NATO. I'm Karen Shamas.
A plane hits a light pole in New Jersey.
The NTSB investigating how a United flight about to land at Newark Airport hit a bakery delivery truck and light pole, which then hit a Jeep on the New Jersey Turnpike Sunday, according to state police. After landing, you can hear air traffic control talk to crews on the ground about damage to the plane.
They felt something over the threshold, and there's a hole in the side of the airplane. So I'm going to get you on the runway here in a moment. They said it was right at the threshold.
That audio courtesy ATC.com. United 169 from Venice, Italy, had 221 passengers and 10 crew aboard. I'm Julie Walker.
The U.S. military says it fired on Iranian forces and sank 6 small boats as it moved to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. The United Arab Emirates said it had come under attack from Iran on Monday. Worries about oil sent stocks lower, the Dow down by 557 points, the Nasdaq lost 46, the S&P declined 29, oil around $105 a barrel. More at Town Hall.
The following is not an actor, but a real-life story from Trinity Debt Management.
Hi, my name's Neil. I have some advice for you if you've been trying to break free from credit card debt. You can start by doing what I did. Get your bills together and call Trinity Debt Management. Trinity is dedicated to helping people like me become debt-free. When I called, my first experience was a feeling of relief. My counselor was kind, and best of all, she didn't judge me. In just a few minutes, she helped me figure out a plan that consolidated all my bills into one lower monthly payment. This substantially reduced my high interest rates and put me on the road to success. In the end, I saved thousands in interest, and today my credit card debt is a thing of the past.
If credit card debt has you down, call Trinity at 1-800-990-6976.
My name is Neil. Take it from someone who's been there. Call Trinity and become debt-free for keeps.
1-800-990-6976.
From the KERN Newsroom, your live and local news update.
The evacuation warning now in place. I'm Chris Davis. The order from the Kern County Sheriff's Office was updated to an evacuation warning. It is for Zone 443, and if you're not sure where that area is, it is north of Edison Highway, south of Pioneer Drive, east of Comanche Drive, and west of Benner Wrench Road. The tower fire, according to the latest update from the Kern County Fire Department, is now more than 2,500 acres, and they were still having a tough time getting control of the fire this morning because of the dry conditions and the high winds that are pushing it to the north and to the east. The sheriff's office says it is an immediate threat to life and that in the evacuation area there will be no public access and visibility will be limited because of the smoke in and around that area. The Kern County Fire Department is now saying that you should always be prepared for wildfires, and in situations like the one that we're having now in East Bakersfield, it helps stress the need for preparedness. Has not yet been made public. Filling up today may be a bit daunting with $6.06 as the average price for gas in California, the cheapest in this area, $5.21. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN Newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
To the rest well, in a month from now, this Hollywood big shot's going to give you what you want.
Too late. They start shooting in a week.
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
The Ralph Bailey Show. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
And I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
Call in or text to 661-842-KERN. That's 661-842-5376. Listen live at KERNradio.com. Now, the host you've been waiting all day for. Live from the KERN studio, here's Ralph Bailey.
Final hour of the broadcast on this Monday. First Monday in May. It's the 4th of May. And of course, that means it's the 5th of May. But as our Latino friends say, Cinco de Mayo. And of course, everybody will be partying all over the place. But the biggest party in town will be on F Street at KC Steakhouse. And owner-operator Cassie Biddle is live in studio with us for those watching on YouTube. How are you, young woman?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much for having me today, Ralph.
How was the Lincoln Day dinner? I saw that you spoke during the Lincoln Day dinner. How was that?
That was amazing. I had the opportunity to present the scholarships to the high school seniors that wrote a 350-word essay on if Abraham Lincoln was president today, what would be which social issue would have his biggest support and why, looking at his policies, philosophy, and presidency. So I was super impressed with the skills these kids had on their essays.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get Kathy to bring in the winner and have her read her essay.
Oh, yeah. Hers
I heard it was about the billionaire tax.
And she touched on the property rights, too. So that one really kind of struck a chord with me as well. When families have property, a lot of these farmland, it gets up into high numbers real quick. So it was interesting for her to bring that up. Generational wealth for a lot of these farming communities. So.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, she's very smart young lady. It'd be interesting to have her on here.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that.
Wonderful time. It was my first time there. I'd never been to the Lincoln dinner. Yeah, so I wasn't real sure what to expect. You know how Kathy is. She throws you on your toes. And it was a wonderful evening. Very well put together. A lot of good people in the room. So it was a great experience for me.
Yeah, that's good. I didn't know that was your first time there.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'd heard about it in years past, but it always comes up so quickly and then I don't even know about it. And so this was the first year I actually took the time and we got all dressed up. Liz and I had our bright red on. So it was a lot of fun. And then Saturday night we had the Sheriff's Posse's spring barbecue and social. So we were out and about on Saturday night too. Very
Nice.
rare for my mother and I to both be out of the restaurant.
That's very true. That's very true. Speaking of the restaurant, it's going to be damn busy tomorrow.
I think probably not so much. So those that are looking to get away from the party, it will be a little bit quieter, but we will have some really, really good specials. So Chef's got his famous tacos for Taco Tuesday and Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
We will have them for $3 each, and they'll have the choice between steak, chicken, and cauliflower for your vegetarian friends or just trying to try something different. And then we'll also have.
Look at that.
Oh yes, so we
I'm
brought you
gonna
the
have one
steak
of these,
tacos, seeing how we are a steakhouse. Very
Doggone
important.
skibby. Just
And-
put a little lemon on that Jackson there. There's a little lemon there for Ralph. There you go.
Right, and Chef does fresh cilantro and onions on top. He makes it a little bit spicy, so be careful with
What do
that.
we got here? What is this I'm
It's a
pouring on
spicy
here?
salsa.
It's very spicy.
To us, it's spicy. To him, it's not. Let's put
To
it that way.
Daniel, yeah.
Yeah.
That guy would eat
Not
hot
too
sauce out the bottle.
No such thing as spicy. Come on now.
Just a little heat there. It's got the color of heat.
Oh Lord.
We'll also have shrimp tacos as well, 2 for $12. So we'll have some pretty good deals. And then to wash those down, we'll have our margarita specials. House margaritas will only be $5, and we will have the choice between the boysenberry one I brought you here today. We'll also have strawberry and the regular lime as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
What am I drinking?
So this one's a boysenberry. It's locally grown boysenberries.
It is nice.
It's got a little bit of a tartness. So to sweeten it up, we have a little bit of triple sec and sweetened lime juice, a couple squeezes of fresh lime, and served over ice. And you can choose to do either a sugar, a tahini, or a salt rim as well. Pretty good.
Love the tacos.
All right.
And the boysenberry, that's better than my vodka cranberry.
Mm-hmm. Now, Chef, we hand cut all of our steaks in house. So what he does is when he cuts all the steaks, he saves the trimming. So in each of those, there's a little bit of filet mignon. There's going to be a little bit of ribeye, a little bit of top sirloin. It's just really tasty when he does those tacos.
Wow. Nice.
Not bad, right?
Are Jimmy and Bobby going to be playing a little live music or no?
Not tomorrow night. We will have the music up, and we'll have the girls to entertain you a little bit. But we will have different drink specials, and hopefully there'll be a few people at the bar to keep us all entertained too.
I think you're wrong. I think it'll be
Think
busy.
so?
Oh yeah.
In years past, it's hit and miss. You know, most places they want to go to the Pyrenees, the
joints,
Mexican
yeah.
food, that kind of stuff. But we do get our regulars, and we make great tacos, and our margaritas are great. So the ones that we do get, it's definitely appreciated. It's sometimes quality over quantity, I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Then
Very good.
after the tacos, we got a busy weekend too. We've got the mac and cheese
That's
fest
right.
on Saturday, and then Sunday is Mother's Day. I can't
Will you be
believe it.
open on Mother's Day?
We are. So we're open this coming Sunday from 12 o'clock to 7 o'clock, and we will have live music through the weekend. So you can check out Bobby and Jimmy Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this week.
That's big.
Yes,
That's
it's going to
big.
be a lot of fun. So we'll have a free or complimentary glass of champagne for mothers that are over 21. We'll have live music, some different specials like our bruschetta chicken that's a little bit lighter for mom, good appetizer specials. So it's a good time to take mom out and enjoy a candlelit dinner.
Absolutely. And the Stockyard will be open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. We had Haley in last week.
Yep, we're
We
going to be
talked about that a little bit.
Yes, I love that little girl. She's been a trooper. She's just a great personality and a positive person to have around.
Oh, she was a huge hit. We had 3 guys in here. Like, I got to get in there just to see her. And a couple of guys have sent Chris a couple of text messages. She's a hottie.
I love it. And we're blessed with her sister as well. So it's always fun on the weekends. You can come in and see both Haley and Paige there. She's been working over at Casey's for us too.
That's what I told them. All of the waitresses and bartenders are smoking hot.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, they're all beautiful. They're all smart. They're all fun and funny.
But the problem is, Ralph, is they keep staying the same age and I'm getting older. So the lights are going down a little bit more each and every year.
It is depressing
Isn't
to
it though?
talk with them and mention John Kennedy. And they're like, who?
Oh, really?
You know, a little bit. Well, what is Haley? All of 25, 26?
I think she's
I mean, it's like,
24.
yeah.
Yes, they're all young.
Warehouse doing extremely well. I mean, the Stockyard doing extremely well, though.
Oh yes, the public's really helped us out. Our customers. It's been a good time on the weekends. You can have a nice dinner at Casey's Steakhouse, and you can sneak over for a little bit of live music and a little bit quieter for conversation. Or if maybe you don't want to be in the hustle and bustle of Casey's, it gives you a nice quiet bar top and good conversation with Haley.
Yeah, you can have dinner in there.
Yes.
And it's a great venue. Great venue. It's where I watched 2 of the World Series
I love it.
last year and the year before.
It's fun. It's a nice little spot for a lot of our regulars, a lot of our neighbors in Westchester to walk down to. So we've really got a lot of support from the Westchester community. So we're proud of being part of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any speaking of Westchester, you're a Westchester member, as am I. Any news on the Westchester parade, the 4th of July parade?
I talked to Natalie. They were forming a committee of residents in that area, so that way they can talk. I know they were having a little community meeting to kind of figure out how to get their ducks in a row to be able to hopefully have it up and going in the next couple of years. The state's changed a lot of the things that you have to do in order to have public gatherings. With the way society it is a little bit scary to have public gatherings. So there's a lot of details that now go into those, and they'll have to be able to figure out if they can get it done, and hopefully we'll be able to keep that tradition going.
Yeah. It's very, very popular.
It's a lot of paperwork. It is. And it's intimidating. It's the same with the grant process or anything else. When you've got a lot of paperwork and things that you have to figure out logistically, it can be very overwhelming for some of the smaller nonprofits or even the communities. So I think we need to find a way to make it easier for them as well as a city, to see if maybe we can give them some guidance on how to be able to get through that process too.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
Anything, if you did not know, she also wears the hat of planning commissioner. Anything going on there?
Oh gosh, there's always good stuff going on in the city. I'm proud to see tractors moving and some work being done over at the East Hills Mall project, which is known as City Lights. So we are getting a Sprouts to that side of town and a couple big anchors, a Boot Barn and a few others. So we're really excited for that. Some movement on that side of town that's desperately needed. So get that economy going. We're seeing a lot of housing being built on that side of town as well. For those that don't know, I represent Ward 3 under Ken Weir. So we're mostly the foothills, everything north of 24th that butts up to Oildale, and it goes all the way out to about Coffee Callaway area too. So we've got a very big ward, and there's a lot of exciting things that are happening in Ward 3.
Always good to hear. Always good to hear.
Thank you.
Cinco de Mayo tomorrow at KC Steakhouse. Tacos. Try the boysenberry margarita. This thing is outstanding. I'm a big vodka cranberry drinker, and this thing is much better than that. I'll tell you that.
Tequila is a must on Cinco de Mayo.
Yes, it is. It is an absolute must. Thank you, Cassie.
Thank you,
Love
Ralph.
you, girly.
We'll be seated at the bar.
You definitely will. Cassie Bill, everybody. Quick time out. Coming right back. It's TRBS on a Monday, right here on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. First Look with Scott Cox, mornings 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Tuesday edition of the First Look program, sadly, we will be without the services of Lois Henry. But if you check out this article in USA Today, they are copying and pasting her word about golden mussels right here in Bakersfield, plus news and traffic and weather. It's all happening 6 to 9 a.m. right here at News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
It's that man again, Ralph Bailey for Adaptive Networks. Business owners, how many times have you called your IT company and felt like just another ticket number? Well, at Adaptive Networks, exceptional customer service isn't just the promise, it's how they do business every single day. And nobody knows that better than the folks here at American General Media, because they are a client of ours and we are a client of theirs. IT is incredibly important for a radio station. We can't depend on somebody saying, well, we'll be out there tomorrow, because all you hear is nothing. So it's do or die for us. That's why we depend on Adaptive Networks. And when you call, you'll actually talk to a real person who knows your name, understands your business, and genuinely cares about solving your problems. No phone trees, no runaround, no attitude. That's what Adaptive Networks are all about. Call today at 661-241-0638. That's 241-0638. Join the IT network that American General Media uses every day.
Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day. No one can beat us, no one can touch us. You won't find better prices. Shop and compare, we don't care. Take a look our way and come into Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day.
Carpet Outlet Plus is celebrating 30 years in business by offering you no interest financing for 12 months. Head over to carpetoutletplus.com to apply now. You can get new waterproof flooring and comfy carpet in the bedrooms, all from one trusted place. Over 70,000 customers can't be wrong. It's probably been time to change your floors for a while, so call, click, or stop by today. Carpet Outlet Plus, 3.5 blocks west of 99 on Rosedale Highway.
Carpet Outlet Plus. Every day is sale day.
Kern County's favorite barbecue is back. The annual Piles Boys Camp Barbecue. Saturday, May 9th from noon till 5 at the Piles Boys Camp Group picnic area near Lake Ming. Join us for a family fun day, a delicious tri-tip barbecue, and the biggest prize drawing in the county. Hundreds of prizes till they're gone. The more tickets you buy, the better chances to win. Tools, kid toys, and more. And the grand prize, a big screen TV. Proceeds benefit the Piles Boys Camp for Youth. Tickets are $15 and available at the gate. Kids under 12 are free. Kern County's favorite barbecue is back. The annual Piles Boys Camp Barbecue. Saturday, May 9th from noon till 5 at the Piles Boys Camp picnic area near Lake Ming. For more info, call 703-7663. That's
This reminds me, don't forget, we got Stan.
Fun. Saturday, May 9th, the annual Piles Boys Camp Barbecue. Don't miss it.
Hey folks, Scott Cox here, host of the First Look with Scott Cox radio program. You are listening to the Ralph Bailey Show right here on Newstalk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
I heard he sang a good song. I heard he had a style. And so I came to see him and listen for a while. And there he was, this young boy, a stranger to my eyes, drumming my bag with his fingers, singing life with his words, killing me softly with his song, killing me softly with his song, telling my whole life with his words, killing me softly.
For those that are not watching on YouTube, I'm using Roberta to clean myself up because I am a mess. I'm just like a natural slob. I had one freaking taco, and I got it all over me, the desk, it's on the floor. What if I had knocked off that whole bunch? This place would be a mess. God, it's all over my pants. You have no idea. You should see my laundry room right now.
Oh, I got to do laundry my dang self, so I can get.
My laundry room
imagine.
is just such a wreck because I was trying to separate my winter stuff from my summer stuff because I was going to go all summer, and then I look up and it's going to be like wacky weather for a while. Like it's about to get really hot. Like it's going to be a bad summer. I got a feeling because Elena Russ told me we're already talking about 3 digits. There's rain expected tomorrow. It's going to be 66 degrees, then 79, then 89, then 90. And they're expecting, on my phone, it says $106 on Monday. Hell, I might just stay in LA. But I've already showed my cards, huh? I can't call in sick.
Nope.
Say I got food poisoning at brunch Sunday. Nope. 106 on Monday.
Eesh.
And we're just entering May. It's going to be a long, hot summer, as the song goes. 842-5376, 842-KERN. The Knicks and the Sixers are already underway. The playoffs are now really, really good. Who you got? Knicks, Philly.
Depends if Joel is healthy. If Joel's healthy, I'm taking the Sixers.
Is he out there? I haven't lowered the blinds. I can't see. Is he out there?
Yes. Yes, he is.
Well, then I got Philly. I got Philly in 7.
That's a fair bet. Yeah, I'd say Philly in 6 or 7.
I just don't trust. I mean,
The defense of the Knicks is skeptical.
I don't trust Karl Anthony Towns. What is this? What is this? Is that Embiid? Who is that?
Carl.
Oh, see, this is the guy that I don't trust. He's down, writhing in pain. Let's see if it's a real. He hyperextended his leg. Ooh, yeah, no.
No, I think it's his back.
His back?
Yeah, he didn't hyperextend it. He really just got, he bumped into Oubre while trying to go up for the ball and fell hard. I think he's fine. He's probably just milking it.
So, yeah, he is milking it. He's limping. I don't think it's his back. Oh.
But again, I'm sorry. I meant lower back because he hits around the hip or tailbone area.
Well, that's going to be a good series. And then Detroit, Cleveland's going to be a good series in the West. Oklahoma, LA. I got a funny feeling about that series. I'm just saying. Lakers in 5. No, I don't know. It depends on Luka. It depends on, I've never seen, I'll tell you this. I've never seen LeBron play as hard. I've never seen him play as hard as he played in Game 7. It just depends. We could get on a roll. We could get lucky and split in Oklahoma. It's 2-2-1-1-1, right?
Yes. Yeah, it stays 2-2-1-1-1.
All right. So we get lucky. We steal 2. We steal 1 in Oklahoma. And, maybe hold off home court. That's the only hope. You go up 3-1. Because if it's 2-2 and we go back to Oklahoma, there's no way they lose Game 5. No way in the world do they lose Game 5 at home. And now you're behind the 8 ball. And even if it goes 7, there's no way in hell they lose a Game 7 at home. Once they get to 3, it's over. Because they're not going to lose a Game 7 in Oklahoma City. They're just not. So you got to steal 2. Steal 1 in the first 2 at home in Oklahoma City, and then you got a whole court, and you got to get to 3 before they do, and then maybe you can steal it in a Game 6 at your place. That's your only hope. Because if you lose Game 6 and it's 3-3, and you got to go back to Oklahoma City, one of 4 capitals with the word city in it, Salt Lake, Carson, and Jefferson being the 3 others, Utah, Missouri, and Nevada, respectively, you got no chance. No chance. Who you got? Minnesota, San Antonio. Now that is an interesting matchup.
Anthony Edwards is supposed to play tonight, from what we understand, but I am still going to take San Antonio because Victor Wembanyama is just a freak.
Is he? Who's going to? They haven't announced the MVP for the season, have they?
No.
Who's the MVP?
Right now, it's coming down to either him, SGA, or I believe Jokic is in the conversation.
No, he can't.
But after this last series, I doubt it.
Yeah, Jokic.
Probably Luka, I would assume, would be the third.
He's in the conversation. He'll be third.
I think it'll most likely come down to Victor or SGA.
It's either Victor or SGA.
Maybe Cade Cunningham. Who knows? Because that kid in Detroit has been doing a hell of a good job with that team.
If you could extend it to the playoffs, he'd have a chance.
100%.
Because he looked unstoppable yesterday, and I was loving it. I just needed 38 combined from him.
I mean, to be fair,
I was like, he's going to get 38 by himself.
Oh, yeah. To be fair, it should extend into the playoffs. It should.
What if you're Bob McAdoo?
When's the last time we've had a Bob McAdoo?
Who was one of the few MVPs to win MVP on a low, not 500 ball club.
Right.
The Buffalo, what were they?
Sabres? No,
it's hockey. They were the Buffalo Braves, I think they were.
I think you're correct.
You weren't even alive when Buffalo had a basketball franchise.
No.
But Gary Vitti is making the rounds on somebody's podcast. And he tells the story about, because McAdoo was, at one point, the best player in the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
He really was. He was a scorer. I think he won 2 consecutive scoring titles, and he was 6'9", and he had the sweetest jumper you ever saw. And Gary Vitti, the former longtime Laker trainer, tells the story. It's with Byron Scott's in the room. And he tells the story how he watched Byron Scott, who wore 11 at Morningside High School in Inglewood and wore 11 at Arizona State because of Bob McAdoo. So Gary Vidi's telling the story. Byron Scott is sitting right there, who, by the way, once hit on my mother. That's a true story. He hit on my mama, telling you. So Byron's sitting there, and Vidi's telling the story, and he says, Byron comes up to Mac and says, the only reason I wear 4 is because you're here. Because I wore 11 at Morningside, and I wore 11 at Arizona State, because you were the man. And Vidi says, Mac looked down at him and said, of course you did, because I was the MF. I was better than Magic. I was better than Kareem. I was the MF on an MF team. And he's right. They were horrible, the Buffalo Braves. But he was a bad man. He really
but again,
was.
like in today's NBA, we don't get that very often. A guy that's on a really bad team competing.
And you know why? Because now, if you're on a really bad team, they tank.
Yeah.
And they sit you down if you're scoring 28, 29 a game. And the NBA absolutely has to do something about it. They're talking about it, shaking up maybe the lottery and not really giving the worst team the best shot at winning the first pick in the draft, which I think they absolutely should, because load management and tanking is what is killing the NBA. And NBC is in big trouble if they think that this current rendition of the NBA is going to take them into higher ratings, because it ain't. It ain't. And if you got a big Saturday doubleheader and LeBron and Kawhi are sitting down in a Clippers versus Laker game, what the hell's the point? You see what I'm saying? Last half hour of the broadcast on this Monday. It's TRBS. I would stick around if I were you.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN.
With SRN News, I'm Keith Peters in Washington. The U.S. military says it fired on Iranian forces and sank 6 small boats, targeting civilian ships as it moved to reopen the Strait of Hormuz on Monday. The United Arab Emirates, a key American ally, said it had come under attack from Iran for the first time since the fragile ceasefire took hold in early April. The U.S. military said 2 American-flagged merchant ships had successfully transited the strait on Monday as part of a new initiative. Oklahoma police have made no arrests and are seeking suspects in connection with a mass shooting at a weekend party beside a lake. Authorities say at least 23 people were injured in the shooting Sunday night at Arcadia Lake, just north of Oklahoma City. Hospitals in the Oklahoma City area said they treated at least 18 people afterwards. More details at SRNnews.com.
You probably Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. Headlines from the KERN newsroom.
If you are near the evacuation zone where the tower fire is burning, you can expect lower visibility because of the smoke, and the Kern County Sheriff's Office is enforcing the evacuation warning north of Edison Highway, south of Pioneer Drive, east of Comanche Drive, and west of Benner Ranch Road. The fire is being fueled by dry vegetation and high winds and is moving to the north and east. 4 people were hurt in a shooting that happened Saturday night on East Pacheco Road near Garber Way, says Bakersfield PD. 1 of those people died and the other 3 are in the hospital. No arrests have been announced. The average price for a gallon of regular is now $6.06 in California, says Gas Buddy. The national average is $4.43. I'm Chris Davis in the KERN newsroom with news every half hour and when it breaks on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
Gas costs more. Groceries cost more. And Sacramento keeps making decisions like Kern County doesn't exist. Andre Gonzalez isn't waiting around for someone else to fix it. Born and raised right here in Bakersfield, Andre Gonzalez has spent his career delivering for this community. He created a community land trust so working families can actually afford to own a home. He's fought to make sure Kern County gets its fair share from Sacramento to fix roads and build water infrastructure, not just the scraps LA and the Bay Area leave behind. Andre Gonzalez is backed by California's firefighters, classroom teachers, and he is the only candidate endorsed by the California Democratic Party. Join them. Vote for Andre Gonzalez for State Assembly on or before June 2nd. Ad paid for by California Credit Union League Political Action Committee, not authorized by a candidate or a committee controlled by a candidate.
Coming up on the Tuesday edition of the Clay Thomas and Buck Sexton Show, the aftermath of Spirit Airlines rolling down and the Democrats getting a lot of heat for it. Elizabeth Warren protecting consumers by making prices go up for them. We'll also talk about the latest with Cuba, an island that is in almost literal darkness these days. What's going on over there? We'll talk to somebody down here in South Florida who knows what's up on Clay and Buck.
Live at 9 a.m. News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230. KERN.
Hey, it's JR Flores. Catch my show, The JR Show, starting at 1 p.m. Now, back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
Come on, baby, do the locomotion. Come on, baby, do the locomotion. So come on, do the locomotion. Just to further my point from earlier in the broadcast, in 1731, Benjamin Franklin and his fellow members of the junto established the Library Company of Philadelphia. This type of subscription library brought access to books to the residents who paid to become a member. It also served as a model and inspiration for many other libraries that began to spring up throughout the colonies. Hence my assertion that Benjamin Franklin invented the library as we know it. He did not invent the Dewey Decimal System. Of that, I was absolutely wrong about. 842-5376, 842-KERN. Anything left on the board?
At the moment, no.
All right. A couple of big stories today. Obviously, there is tension in the Persian Gulf where the president says that he will not allow ships through the Strait of Hormuz. Iran has already violated the ceasefire. If you ask me, the United Arab Emirates have reported that they shot down at least four missiles that were shot off by the Iranians. So obviously, you know, all the headlines are saying that it's a tenuous ceasefire. No, it's a broken ceasefire is what it is. And now we have sunk, and this was as of like 1, 2 o'clock this afternoon, this is about 1 or 2 o'clock this afternoon, we sunk at least 7 of their little speedboats that could cause all kind of havoc because, as we talked about at the top of the show, we are now involved in what is called Project Freedom, where we are going to escort ships through the Strait of Hormuz. Now, this hasn't allayed the fears of major companies that are spending millions of dollars on insurance and are fearful that, maybe the mines have been cleared, but the Iranians clearly have these speedboats. They clearly have access to drones. A minor $20,000 drone could sink one of these ships or damage it and make it, put it out of commission. And so the idea that we're escorting them, will that open up traffic at the Strait of Hormuz? Probably not. Meantime, here is Admiral Brad Cooper of CENTCOM.
Vessels currently in the Arabian Gulf represent 87 countries from around the world. And as the president mentioned, they are merely neutral and innocent bystanders. Over the last 12 hours, we've reached out to dozens of ships and shipping companies to encourage traffic flow through the strait, consistent with the president's intent to help guide ships safely through the narrow trade corridor. This news has been quite enthusiastically received, and we're already beginning to see movement. The president has also said that if the process is interfered with, we will react forcefully. And over the last 12 hours, Iran has interfered.
So, therefore, And once again, this is the importance of playing it straight. Because the president came out today after this discussion or press conference, I don't know in what venue the admiral discussed this, but the president has come back and responded by saying that if a ship is attacked under our escort, that once again, he will decimate, he will destroy all of Iran. Now that's got to stop because we're never going to destroy Iran. We're just not. We're not going after their power plants. We're not going after their oil supplies. We're just not going to do that because that would be an international crime and it would defeat the entire purpose of what we're trying to do. And now you really got to start to question what is the military win here? Because if we walk away today, we're worse off than we were than when this thing began. The Iranians still have their uranium, and the Strait of Hormuz, which was open when this thing began, is now closed and is feared to be navigated through by many of the companies that, again, are spending millions and millions of dollars on insurance on these boats. And to have that blown up by a $20,000 drone or a $75,000 little speedboat, and is that now the new strategy that we're just going to just obliterate every speedboat in the Strait of Hormuz? I just wish there was some sense of direction. There's a new policy every single day, it seems. Like, why weren't we doing this from the get-go? Why are we only now beginning to attack these speedboats? Because there's no outline to this thing, I'm telling you. You've got Fox and Friends weekend anchor running the show at the State Department, or excuse me, at the Pentagon, and he simply doesn't know what he's doing. He truly doesn't. And the idea that there's a new policy regarding this almost every day is proof of that. And the fact that disapproval is up to now 72% is even more proof of that. And again, remember, the clock is on their side. I'm sure most of you saw the meme that the president put out where he's holding up Uno cards, insisting that he's got all the cards. Really? Well, they've got all the uranium, and the Strait of Hormuz is still closed, and there's still 13 dead. And if that number goes an inch higher, this administration is going to be held responsible. And now we're just a month away from the primaries of one of the most consequential midterm elections in my lifetime. Because believe me, and I've warned you of this, and I'll warn you again, when, not if, when they win the House and when they win the Senate, although that has become a little more murky because of this Nazi up in Maine. They've got a Democrat who apparently I should have talked about this with Kathy, had a swastika that he had to cover up. And the Democrats are still backing this guy. It looked like he was going to back out, but Democrats are still backing this guy. The party that calls the president a Nazi is backing up a Senate candidate who once wore a Nazi symbol. It just doesn't make any sense anymore. There's no logic to politics anymore. You know what I'm saying? Everybody is a hypocrite. Everybody involved. Every single legislator, elected official is a hypocrite in the 21st century. They talk out of both sides of their mouth, as the Native Americans used to say, with forked tongue. It's absolutely remarkable. And you can't get away from it. That's why independent voters are growing in every single state. That's why there are more independents in Arizona, almost as many independents as Republicans and Democrats in the Commonwealth of Virginia, because people are just sick and tired and sick and tired of being sick and tired. But there's no truth out of either party. They both lie. They both have ratcheted up the rhetoric. They both blame each other for ratcheting up the rhetoric when they're both just as guilty as sin. And there's really no third option because there's no independent candidate that can win. All independent means is you kind of get to select your party if you like, but if you become a party of the independent party, you got to vote for the independent candidate. There will come a day when a third party rivals these two, because I don't think in the history of this country that the Congress, the Republicans, and the Democrats have had as low approval rating as they do now. I'm going to look that up tomorrow morning. Has the president, the Congress, the Senate, Republicans, and Democrats all combined ever had the low approval ratings they all share? Because none of them are in the 40s. Congress is in the 20s, Senate is in the 30s, Trump is in the 30s, the Democratic Party is in the 20s, and the Republican Party is in the 30s. No one of those five groups is in the 40 percentile. That's crazy. 842-5376, 842-KERN. Who you got?
Richard.
Richard, you're on the Ralph Bailey Show.
Hey, Ralph, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing okay, hanging in there. Hey, I'm really concerned about this Maine candidate against Susan Collins.
Yeah.
There's a lot of anti-Semitism going around, and to top it off, this guy's been on at least 2 podcasts with known anti-Semites. He's masking it as being anti-Zionism, but I think it's time to just say, if you hear somebody saying, well, I'm just anti-Zionist, 99% of the time they're anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
And it's getting really bad where it's coming from both the right and the left. There's people I talk to that out of nowhere would say, we just don't need to support Israel. And more than that, they're like, they just don't care. Up to people just really calling Israel as the problem, which is just unfair. We're just not educating kids on the history of Israel. And it doesn't mean you have to approve of everything that Israel does. Israel's own people protest against Netanyahu.
That's what I was going to ask you. How much of this do you think is based on Netanyahu, and how much do you think is based on this new obvious rise in anti-Semitism?
I'd say it's 5% Netanyahu and 95% anti-Semitism.
And why how has this risen again? Even among young people who always were the most open-minded group, most open-minded demographic, even young people are on college campuses talking about, supporting Hezbollah, et cetera, et cetera.
They're coming from a position where they want to decolonize. So they think Israel is a colonizer. It's because let's not throw all the Muslim students or all Muslim immigrants or Arab and Persian immigrants under the bus, but there's a vocal, I don't know what percent it is, but they're just gaslighting students. They're getting in bed with the socialists. The socialists love to back the Palestinians. And I'll say that you don't have to be anti-Palestinian to be pro-Israel.
Right.
There's lots of people that want to have a two-state solution. And in a lot of ways, some of the Palestinians are just political footballs. They're, if you look at it, the West Bankers didn't rise up during October 7th. They knew that, they're not allies of Israel. They knew not to get involved with what Hamas was doing. There's a rivalry. Hamas has killed a lot of Palestinians, even in they got the Strip, because some of them were trying to rise up against them. They just straight executed the other, I guess, militias, and they're probably not angels, but they were like, hey, you know what? Hamas is just getting us killed. They're throwing the term around genocide, and what's happened is the extreme right and extreme left have a lot of influence on young people, and we can't just blame social media. We're just not vocal enough on there. But college campuses, college campuses have always had, I'm going to say always, but they thought they were stopping the I don't want to say, the anti-fascists have become the fascists.
Yeah. All right, Richard, I got to fly, man. I got a hard break. Not a hard break, but it's my final break. Thanks for the call. I appreciate it, though.
All right, take care, Ralph.
You too. Yeah, it's really unexplainable. That's why I just cut him off. I don't think there's a real good explanation on how Anti-Semitism existed in the 20th century. I went to high school with a lot of Jewish kids. I was very close with a lot of Jewish kids. My friend Ed Skelly, I've told you his amazing story. His parents were married in like the 40s and the 50s. His father, Edward Joseph Skelly III, is Irish Catholic. His mother is Jewish. And like I said, they married in the 40s and the 50s, which was unheard of, absolutely unheard of. And I've seen anti-Semitism in the 70s and the 80s, but nothing like today. Nothing like today. And certainly nothing as widespread among young people. Because when I was growing up in the 70s and the 80s, young people, that 18 to 35 demographic, was the most open-minded group in America. Now, that has absolutely changed. They are some of the most, and I'm going to say it, they're some of the most brainwashed, fixated, you can't change my mind because I saw it on the internet or I heard it on a podcast. And they're some of the most narrow-minded, myopic human beings on the planet. And that is frightening. Final timeout of the day. Tomorrow's a Tuesday. Guess who is back? I guarantee we have 200 views tomorrow. I guarantee it. Because our former federal magistrate judge, Teresa Goldner, returns from her Asian tour. In the meantime, keep it locked. Scott Jennings at the top of the hour. You're listening to TRBS on Newstalk 96.1 AM 1230. We're streaming live at kernradio.com.
Kern Radio, News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230, KERN. First Look with Scott Cox, morning 6 to 9 a.m.
On the Tuesday edition of the First Look program, sadly, we will be without the services of Lois Henry. But if you check out this article in USA Today, they are copying and pasting her word about golden mussels right here in Bakersfield. Plus news.
Oh, Lord have mercy. 3, 2. So now we're involved in what's called Project Freedom, where we're going to be escorting ships through the Strait of Hormuz. So I don't want to hear this nonsense about no boots on the ground, because boots are on the ground. The men and women on those ships are in harm's way. And this thing could get very, very funky in the next couple of days. 3, 2. It's that man again. Look what's coming up on the Tuesday TRBS. Well, we'll get you updated on the NBA playoffs. We'll get you updated on Epic Fury and Project Freedom. And Teresa Goldner returns from her Asian tour. All that plus me at 3. It's TRBS. Newstalk 96.1 AM 1230. And we're streaming live at kernradio.com. I'll see you at 3.
Lose hope. Do what Gail did and call TRA for a consultation. I was so blessed with TRA. Visit TRA.com or call 800-544-7357. 800-544-7357. That's 800-544-7357.
Running a business takes grit, vision, and a partner who believes in your success as much as built around you. The entrepreneurs, the growers, the dreamers powering our community. Whether you need flexible checking, faster payments, or financing to take your next big step, Valley Strong brings local expertise and real relationships to every stage of your business. Because when local businesses thrive, the whole valley grows stronger. Valley Strong Credit Union. Grow your business, grow your future. ValleyStrong.com/business.
Are you
I'm going to steal a little bit more of it, but the rest is all you. Oh, that's what I was saying, too.
Because you're right, it tastes like a vodka cranberry. It does, but it's not. Like you could clearly tell it's not.
Including Medi-Cal, Medicare, and Kern Family. They offer Kern County's longest-standing inpatient detox program with dual diagnosis that combines medical care and withdrawal management all under one roof. Learn more at GoodSamaritanHospital.com or call 661-215-7500. Good Samaritan Hospital. They care for their community.
Clay Travis and Buck Sexton live at 9 a.m. Now back to the Ralph Bailey Show on News Talk 96.1 and AM 1230 KERN.
What is this verdict?
See?
I just jumped into something. I have no idea what I just jumped into. Uh-oh. That's what I meant to jump into. What is the most beautiful state in America according to ChatGPT?
According to ChatGPT?
According to ChatGPT, they ranked the 50 prettiest states. What do you think they ranked first?
Well, I would like to say California, but I know it's not now.
What do you think? Give me your final.
I'll say Colorado.
Colorado is fourth.
Dang, that's close.
California is number one.
Okay.
I don't understand that.
I know.
Because I would have voted for Hawaii.
You know what? True.
How can Hawaii not be number one?
You know, we kind of forget that that's actually its own state.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, what part of Hawaii is ugly?
Yeah, true.
I mean, I'm sure there are ghettos of Hawaii. We'd have to ask Mr. Flores. He's been there often. His sister used to live there. So I'm sure there are ghettos of Hawaii. But I've never seen them.
And it's expensive to live there.
It is expensive.
It is fancy.
And the cost of living is so high. You know, gas and stuff that we milk. You know, everything is, you got to get it to the you got to get it from the mainland.
Yep.
So everything is much expensive. You will never, I could give you 49 guesses and you won't guess what's second.
Alaska.
How the hell? You looked it up. How the hell did you guess?
The
hell did you guess Alaska?
Because honestly, I hear about a lot.
Alaska.
I know, but I hear it a lot. It's actually a beautiful area for what it is. Like, obviously, it's a frozen tundra.
That's what I'm saying. How could Alaska be beautiful?
Still could still be beautiful.
Ice.
Well, ice could still be beautiful.
Alaska's prettier than Hawaii.
No, absolutely not. But
you don't know where Hawaii is? 5.
Wow, it's even under Colorado.
California, Alaska, Utah.
Okay, get out of here with the Utah.
Thank you. Colorado. Hawaii. I'm sorry, I got enough gas. They give you a little gas, these boysenberry. Washington, Oregon, Montana, Wyoming, and Arizona top the top 10. The ugliest state? What do you think the ugliest state in America is?
Oklahoma or Alabama?
That's what I would have said, but not. They're in the mid-range.
Mississippi.
It is. Let me give you. No, it is a neighbor of ours. Believe it or not.
Really? It's one of our neighbors.
Yes. It is a West Coast, Western state.
Nevada?
Yes.
No way.
Well, I don't know if it would be the ugliest, but
I love Nevada.
Oh, dude, have you ever been to Pahrump?
Yes.
You
Carson City?
You been to Carson City?
I love Carson City. They go all the time. They have family out there.
Ooh.
And don't get me wrong, you're right. It's not the prettiest thing to look at, but like I love the mountain range area and all of that.
And the desert and
I don't know. I love
cacti.
Plus, it's not Vegas. Who doesn't love Vegas?
Yeah, but Vegas is so small.
And Vegas is pretty
compared to Nevada.
What's more pretty than Vegas at night?
Los Angeles at night.
Really fair.
And they can claim Lake Tahoe to a certain degree.
True. They
you would
can.
think that would get them off the bottom.
Oh yeah.
I mean, geez.
I feel like Nevada is better than some of the South.
the chat GPT is why it's so stupid. Because guess what? You would never, I know you'd never guess what's 49. It's a southern state.
Southern state?
Yep. 49.
Deep South?
Southern state.
Georgia.
Georgia is, where is Georgia? Georgia is 30th. They've got Florida as the 49th ugliest.
Oh, wow.
That's what I'm saying. Like Florida with Orlando and Tampa and Miami
East Coast
and
Cali's at the
Vero
bottom.
Beach. That's what I'm like, how could Florida be last?
These have to be because of the people.
Don't get me wrong. I took a bus from Fort Lauderdale to Vero Beach, and I stopped in every little podunk town between there. All these little Saint this, Saint that, Saint this. There's some pretty nasty little towns, I'll tell you. But damn, you got, and Jacksonville. Remember, I got offered a job in Jacksonville and literally determined that I wasn't going to take the job as soon as I got off the plane. As soon as I got off the plane and we drove to the station, I was like, I'm not working here. It was in the ghetto. It was, Jacksonville is just not a great city. But I've never been to Tallahassee, the capital. But I've been to Orlando. Orlando's beautiful. I've been to Miami. Miami's beautiful. I've been to Vero Beach. I've been to Fort Lauderdale.
I don't think Orlando and Miami are fair, though, because those are tourist destination cities.
But then that should get you up from 49.
True, yeah.
You're the second ugliest state in the country.
Like what in West Virginia?
Thank you. That is 26.
Wait, what?
That's what I'm saying. What,
so was it the top
Appalachian Mountains are prettier than the beaches in Orlando? Are you kidding?
Ohio? Where's Ohio? Oh, it gotta be at the bottom.
No, Ohio is 38th. Just saying. I got to get out of here. For Chris Burdick, I'm Ralph Bailey. That's what's really going on. I will rap to you tomorrow.
Kern Radio, AM 1230, KERN. 96.1 FM, K241CI, Bakersfield, an American General Media station.
News this hour from Town Hall. I'm Keith Peters in Washington. A federal judge on Monday decried the prison treatment of President Trump's alleged would-be assassin and apologized to him for restrictive confinement imposed by jail staff.
Cole Allen has been in federal custody since a prosecutor said he attempted to crash the White House Correspondents' Dinner and kill President Trump along with other high-level government officials. Magistrate Judge Zia Farouqui told the Department of Corrections attorney that he was, quote, fascinated and disturbed by Allen's treatment in jail. Allen was placed on suicide watch when he was first imprisoned. Prosecutor Jocelyn Ballantyne reasoned that since Allen told investigators he did not expect to survive the alleged attack, he could be a danger to himself. Bernie Bennett, Washington.
2 Republican-led states are pushing for new congressional districts.
Republican governors in Alabama and Tennessee have called lawmakers into special sessions this week to draw new congressional districts. The move follows a Supreme Court decision that weakened a key provision of the Voting Rights Act. The High Court struck down a majority black congressional district in Louisiana, saying the map relied